look in your eyes. You're on the mission, burning ambition. You've got your eyes on the prize. You've gotta rise to the challenge. Show 'em what you've got. Step up and take what's yours. You are kings now, clash of titans.
Hey everyone, Tornado Tag Podcast here. We're back. I don't know. I always say we're back. We're here. We're always here.
We're here.
Technically back.
We're here every Friday. It's a weekly podcast. We got our banner. We pointed it last time. Short team tonight. It's only a 3-man squad.
Which one is mine?
You're right here.
No, headphone. No,
Yeah,
which
right
is
here.
the cord?
This is your cord.
Okay, it's fuzzing again.
It might be the headphones.
Oh, okay, mate. It's just the left side.
Is it good?
It's like.
That was just me going.
That's fine. It comes and goes. I can do it. It's not real bad.
All right, I have to get new headphones. That's the next game plan. Everything's starting to get old, and it travels a lot. It gets broken down and put in bags.
Well, okay, you go.
yeah. So we have a lot of cool stuff going on. We have a guest on the phone right now. If you like what you hear, hit that like, subscribe button, give us a follow, as well as our guests' content, which we'll get to in a minute. We do have a merch store, so go check out the merch page. And tonight we got a tag team belt on the table.
I feel so bad for and anybody that's watching on video is going to see this. It looks like I'm the champion and not Andy.
Yeah,
I'm like, I feel like I'm at a press conference.
Yeah, always put the belt in front of you when you're gonna cut a promo.
So we're what are we looking at here?
I always want to say the original name, which is Garden State Wrestling when they were in Jersey, and then they moved to Pennsylvania. So that's the Grand Slam Wrestling. They have
the
old
GSW
logo. Tag team, one of the tag team titles. Matt Turner has their one, of course.
It's a very boxing looking.
Yeah,
title.
I hate the boxing belts. I like the metal, but I absolutely hate the belt because it's Velcro on the back, which I think looks lame, and it's like furry.
I like the.
Yeah, see, I don't like it.
It feels like if you're defending in the summer and you're wearing it out, you're just going to have waste sweat.
And it's just, ugh. And then, but other than that, it's
a cool looking belt, though.
Yeah,
it's very cool
it's
looking.
old.
Yeah.
I don't know how old, but it's been. What's the word? What's the one? Titles? Not defunct.
Retired?
Yeah.
Inactive?
Yeah, inactive for 3 years.
You're
now.
the longest reigning champion in company history.
Yeah, how about that tag team? I've had every belt there. So
Blue and Gold coming up on what, like 4 years as champions now?
Yeah.
You Grand Slam there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, it's me and another guy named Mike, and I forget his working name, so I won't say his last
Michael.
name. Yeah. And Mike Vaughn. There you go. And there was one other guy I think that won all the titles there.
You're having a good month so far in pro wrestling. We'll get into that in a little bit.
It's a good year so far.
Yeah, very good year.
Man.
I think you're
there we go.
Good.
Yep.
I think your hard work and putting your time in is starting to pay off a little bit
Good.
here. I think
get
a lot
that contract.
I think a lot of local companies are starting to notice your talent and starting to ride with you a little bit.
I got that time, eh?
It's about to be getting in the belt collecting business.
I know.
Yeah.
Already
Hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Knock on wood.
But
Yeah,
on the
that's not
phone,
wood.
Curtis from the PA Pile Driver Podcast. What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? How you doing tonight?
Good, man. So, you're new to the podcast game, right?
Yeah, pretty new. I am.
So I did a little interview with you at PPW. So what was your introduction to pro wrestling, and what got you interested in introduced into the local scene?
Oh, geez. Introduction to pro wrestling. It was probably when I was 8 or 9 years old. My mother was convinced that my father was never allowed to let me get into wrestling because he was back into it in the 80s and 90s. And, of course, now it just had to be passed down to me. And I think one of the first matches I saw was Kane versus The Undertaker. And I believe it was a casket match. I'm pretty sure that was the first ever match I saw.
Wow.
And after I saw that, I was like hooked because I think it was Kane who ended up getting buried. I was like, all right, this guy actually just got buried in dirt. I think this is pretty cool. So I've just been a fan ever since. And as far as local wrestling, I was introduced to PPW. That's like my mainstay where I go. And I was introduced to about 2016 or 2018. I can't get my years straight, but I saw a post, Jake Hager, who, of course, he's all doing big things now, and he posted he would be in Hazleton, PA, and I knew that was near me. I wasn't sure how close, so I figured it was, of course, Google knows everything, and I said like a half an hour from my house. I was like, all right, this is cool, so I went and checked it out. My first show was PPW Respect, which was June of 2018, I believe, when they had Swagger and Steiner, and I've been going ever since.
Yes.
I mean, I've been there a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, Andy was there. He was part of Undeniable at the time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I remember Scott was there. He changed down with us.
Those none good Undeniable creeps.
Oh, God. so you said you live a half hour from Hazleton. Whereabouts are you then?
I'm about near Plains, where the True Mill is. I live like 5 to 10 minutes from there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm up here.
Talk about the True Mill.
So what's your excuse for not going to be there Saturday?
Well, you guys know I'm a big sports guy, but I'm a huge bowler, and it's Saturday night is league night, but I can't miss that many because I'm allowed to miss for PPW, but if I miss too many others, I'm going to get my head taken off.
Oh, wow.
We thought you were skipping out to watch the AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah, until bowling's over.
No, that's not it. I definitely would be there if I could, though, definitely.
My family are all big bowlers, and I almost got the bug for it, and then I never...
I never bowled in my life.
The only reason I got the bug was a couple years ago, because my dad and grandfather were into it for years, and I like you, I didn't really get it. I was like, all right, they like to do it, but then my grandfather, unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, and I was like, all right, let's do this in honor of him. I just did like the junior league here, and I have been on fire ever since.
Now, would you consider bowlers athletes?
Yes, absolutely. If you tell me bowlers aren't athletes or a sport, we are going to have a long conversation.
My aunt is 80 years old, and she still bowls in a league and would kill me in bowling right now.
Is she an athlete?
Yeah, sure.
At 80 years old?
Absolutely.
I always joke with my little brother. I'm like, my mom bowls. Our grandmother bowls. I don't want to hear that she's.
Did you ever see the movie Kingpin?
Yeah.
With Woody Harrelson. There's this thing where Randy Quaid's character, the Amish kid, is like talking about how like it's so intimidating to be in the presence of these great athletes. You just see this like fat guy eating a chili dog.
Exactly. I do think there is athletic.
Do you think golf's a sport?
I think golf's a sport.
I think golf.
How about mini golf?
I think golf teeters. So I think there is things that are considered sport, and then I think there are things that are considered skill game.
What about poker?
That's a skill game.
Okay.
Shooting darts is a skill game. I think bowling teeters the line because.
What about professional wrestling? And there's a wrestler sitting right across.
That is an athlete. You're an athlete.
Not me.
Yeah.
You do need skill for bowling. But there's going to be people that are not necessarily in shape that can bowl.
Where I think golf and bowling can kind of teeter the line between athlete and skill game is because to throw a 12, 10-pound ball for 3 games can get exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have arm strength guys, I throw 16.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, so I do think there's a little bit of that, but then again, like, my grandmother can throw her ball for 4 and still be consistent. You know what I mean? So
the great George Carlin once said there's only 3 sports, and it's basketball, baseball, and football.
Yeah.
Everything else is either a game or an activity.
Yeah. Where bowling is more or less it's a lot. I think it's a lot more mental than it is physical. Where I think in bowling you have to definitely know you have to know your lane. You have to know your oil patterns. You have to hit your marks every single time, and you have to stay in the same form and same positioning every single time.
I don't do any of these things, and that's why I suck at bowling.
Yeah.
I can't. I've never even played a bowling video game. Tie back to wrestling. Has anyone ever had a bowling gimmick? Other than Al Snow taking out the bowl in the hardcore matches.
People, Bubba would always wear bowling shirts.
What was it? The Respect, the first show, the main event debuted against these guys that had this bowling gimmick.
Yeah.
I have no clue who it was, but
I kind of remember them guys. They came out with like the what would you call it? Jersey, a bowling shirt,
like a bowling shirt.
Yeah, they came out with the bowling jersey. Yeah,
I don't think they brought out a bowling ball. I don't know what happened, guys. I seen that one time. That was it.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
So, what are some names that have really stuck out to you on the PPW roster for since you've been coming?
Oh, geez, some names. I'll be honest, this isn't bias. I know he's in the room, but Andy stuck out to me ever since I've came.
How about that?
I mean, just the way you're so charismatic and stuff. Like, at the end of the night, I remember Andy Header. I mean, it was someone like him. Who else? Obviously, Fox Vineyard, somebody that stuck out to me as well. Oh, man, I could go on and on. I think the first guy that really stuck out to me was, I mean, he's not there right now, at least, is Sean Carr.
Okay.
Sean Carr was one of the first guys I saw PPW, and I was like, dude, I love this guy. He had me hooked.
I went to the show to support Andy, and he's like, hey, there's another promotion I'm doing in Hazleton. I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. And we went, and I think it was the Impact. No, we went to a show first, and then the next show was the Impact show. That unfortunately you weren't invited.
Well, I thought you went to the John Morrison one first.
No, I went to one before John Morrison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the one where Sean Carr, he won the ladder match because Mike Orlando dropped the belt off the top of the ladder into Sean Carr's arms. But once I seen Sean Carr, I was like, this dude, this is like, he's like one of my favorite indie guys. I just think he was so good on the mic, and he had a great look, and he was good.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'll be at high tension.
yeah, super excited about that. I'm a huge. I'm really high on him. I think he's good. I think right now, I think when you look at the roster for PPW, we were talking on the way up. I think your ace is Deshaun Pratt.
Yeah, I've
been doing it a long time, and he's just like
everything that guy does is so good.
And you're nipping on his heels. Like you're another guy too that like
I want to wrestle him.
No matter,
in a real
I would
match,
love to see that.
In a
I would
real
love
match,
to see that.
Not a training match.
Yeah, I think used to have been there, doing this a long time, and I think both of and you could put each one of you in any situation, and you will make a match.
There's a lot of stuff that I know just because I know him, and from I can know what he can do. The same parent, like him. I can just call stuff with him in the ring. I'd be like, time and drill, and he'd know. I'd say time and drill. He'd know exactly what to do, and we'd be like, boom, and then call another spot, and like, boom.
Yeah.
So I was going to answer that. There's a little inside baseball, but because you both trained at the same place, he's a year or two ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
At relatively the same time, is there a little bit of a shorthand just because you're both Chikara guys, both wrestle?
Yeah, he could say stuff, and I'd be like, oh, gotcha.
All right.
And I could whip him off and say stuff in Spanish and send for him to me, and then the other guys would be like, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
But then I'd be like, oh, God.
I do like how kind of being behind the curtain a little bit, and probably Kirk can attest to this because he just got his first experience last show with it. It is neat to see the guys kind of working a little bit and kind of seeing behind the curtain. And like even Heidi said when we were at
how like matches come together and stuff.
Yeah. And when Heidi was saying when we were at Outbreak, and even when you did your promo afterwards, and she was back there, she was like, Andy's so calm, cool, collected the house, and to see him in his element, like with the thing, she goes, it was so like
and I always think I'm not lively enough.
No,
that's why I always think I'm like, I need to be more. Like,
if you're turning it up more, go for it.
Yeah.
But you're up there already.
That's why I always think in my mind, like just be really over the top.
Yeah, it's just really fun to see you in your element and doing what you truly love to do. It's awesome. As a friend, it really like I'm like I get a proud moment. Like I'm like, there he goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was really interesting at Outbreak because you were kind of roaming around everywhere, Tony, and I was trying to take notes and actually watch more of the show, and because when we do the car ride home, I try to make sure I have everything, all the names right, and everything like
and
that.
I heavily lean on you with that.
Well, a lot of times when you go to a show and you 10 new names, you're like, oh, what was that guy's name? Or you get mixed up, or
with Outbreak, I try to like make sure I got everybody's name in that live wire invitation.
The good thing is Chio always posts the card. So. But I mean, you won't know who's who, but you need to get the name.
But it was interesting sitting with Heidi just because she's not as in the wrestling as we are, so it's like certain things like, okay, that's that, and then when Andy comes out, she's like getting really into it because she knows Andy, so it's like.
That's the same way Nikolai was. Nikolai's not even a wrestling fan, and he went to the show, and like Andy came out, and Nikolai was like, Nikolai's like, this is, and then like Andy took a bump, and he's like, oh my god, he's really hurt. I was like, oh, he's dead.
Now, Curtis, getting back to you here with PPW, I know you're some like the people who initially drew you in. Is there anybody now, like when that card comes out, who's the first person you're looking for? Like, who was he going against, or she?
Casey Navarro, definitely. Casey Navarro, someone I look to see who he's fighting, and of course, you guys know SPF. They are my guys. So definitely those.
Even with the heel
guys,
turn, you're still Team SPF.
Oh yeah, well, sort of.
Look, they're doing what they have to do.
I'm like a tweener fan. It's like I'll support you for a little bit, and then if you do something stupid, I'll be like, I don't know.
Well, they did something stupid.
They're getting theirs. They're doing what they have to do.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. We'll say, because like we said in our car ride home, it's like I can get why it went down that way. I think Jimmy is very passionate, and he's he wants to get over as that heel, and he wants to be disrespectful, and he wants that crowd to genuinely hate them, so they get that heel heat. But you gotta be real careful because
especially
nowadays, and if someone comes up to you and they're maybe not working with a full deck, I don't want to like sound like I'm calling making fun of somebody, but they're invested more than an average person, and then you're like screaming and causing a scene a little bit. It can get crazy, but yeah, and right now, like with the PPW tag team division, that's not a thing you want to miss shows because of situations like that, because it's very easily to just get pushed to the back of the line because there's 6 tag teams that are there's tag teams that are
to bring in.
There's tag teams that want to be in PPW, like, and you're kind of one of them.
They messaged them a bunch of times.
Stepdad's one in, Blue and Gold one in. There's tag teams that are lining up to be at PPW. So if you're doing that and causing those shenanigans, you are, even though you're 6-time champs,
you get easily replaced.
Exactly.
Anybody, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, you have a tag team right now who should be champions, but they know that they're probably not in line because the way the storyline's being built. But like, you have the Sambo show. You know what I mean? They're super over. They're just as over with the fans as any other tag team.
I'd say so, yeah.
Maybe even more than main event, which is not easy to do.
Yeah.
Because their interaction with fans is fantastic. So it's definitely one of those things where they gotta maybe tone it back just a hair and be careful when it comes to that. But they would be missed if they were gone. But I just don't want them to go because of reasons like that. Yeah.
Well, they're supposed to be back this month. I think they were on the poster for.
Yes, they are back next show. Yep,
Yeah,
there's a show coming.
I don't know
up.
what the match is, but
Yeah, I think it's going to be them. No, because I think they might be saving that for Super Show main event, and
maybe it's like a 6-man tag. Or
it could be
then?
something like that.
yeah.
But yeah, because it seems like everything's kind of building towards Super Show as far as SPF and main event. Either you or Chris Banks against Moran. You had the big 4-way for the title there. I'm not saying this show is skippable because
not at all.
Matt Seidel's going to be there.
Yeah.
That's going to be great.
Matt Seidel versus Clutch Adams.
Yeah. And then
was it JTX?
No, that's going to be over the summer.
JXT. No, JXT.
The Australian guy?
I thought it was at the next show.
I think that's over the summer. Is it going to be this?
Oh,
yeah,
When is it? Yeah, because he's doing another local show
It's
too.
after Super Show.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like, I think the only things they have hard firm announced. Did they announce? I'm assuming you and Chris Banks is going to be at this next show.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah,
Okay.
they shared the graphic.
And then we have Danny Moe and Adina Steele in a number 1 contenders match.
The battle of the Smiling Blondes are both like, in the picture.
Yeah. What are they doing with? Is Facade wrestling that show?
I believe so. Yeah. If Danny Moe's there, I'm going to assume Facade's going to be there.
I wonder. I don't think he has a match officially booked.
I was hoping for him versus Matt Seitel. That's what I was hoping.
I wanted to see Deshaun and Matt Seitel.
Yeah,
that
would be pretty cool.
I think I think Facade. I mean, Facade's doing some crazy work. He put out something where he's wrestling Nick Aldis for the 10 pounds of gold. You know what I mean? So like, man, there's so many opportunities where he's gonna like can get his name out there.
Curtis, any dream matches you have? Like any matches you haven't seen in PPW? Like 2 guys you'd like to see kind of link up that just haven't crossed paths yet?
Oh, man.
And that's kind of a tough one. Yeah,
Or maybe even a name that you'd like to see come in that's not obviously signed.
Like obviously not
Kenny Omega.
Yeah, but just within reason, is there somebody you'd like to see come in?
I mean, well, we have Matt Seidel. I've been a big fan for him for years, even back when he was in WWE, known as Evan Bourne. And when I saw he was coming, I was pretty excited. I was hoping he was going to fight Facade one-on-one because I thought that would have been really cool. Because, I mean, their styles are similar, but I think there'd be a way for them to, like, take it to the next level. I thought that'd be pretty cool. I'm a big. They were just here. I love Impact Wrestling. I'm a big Tennille Dashwood fan. Tennille versus Adina Steele 1-on-1. I'd really like to see as well.
I would like to see.
That'd be good for her.
I would like to
too.
see Tessa versus Christina Marie.
Oh, there you go.
Be interesting.
That would be fantastic.
I'd like to
Well, that
just see
happened
Emma in
once
person.
already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that happened at, I'm trying to remember. It was the November show
It's
of
the show when I
2018.
came in and hit her in the back of the head.
I mean, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it was Tessa Blanchard versus Christina Marie for the PBW Women's Championship. The only reason I remember that is because Brian Cage and her went to the wrong promotion.
Whoa.
They were like 2 hours late because they showed up in like some city in New Jersey or something. I forget why, but yeah, I remember they were super late for that show.
And they're like, well, you're here. Do you just want to hang out? And they're like, no, we got to go.
Here's another one. I'm going through PPW's Facebook. Somebody that you worked with last time in PPW, Andy, Vinny Pacifico. I'm glad to see he's coming back. I thought he was really good in that match.
Yeah.
He's going to be going against Sebastian Cage at Last Call.
Oh, that should be pretty good.
That should be pretty
he
good.
had to try it with ROH or I think ROH and Evolve or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him. That's the first time I ever met him. I wasn't familiar with him at all.
I'm going to do my non-bias because my biased one because Andy's sitting here. I would love to see Deshaun Pratt, Andy. Another match I wanted to see that we're getting
Deshaun will be at GSW too, by the way.
is you and Chris Banks.
Yeah.
Even Chris Banks said he wants that match.
Yeah.
Like off camera, like he really wants to work with you. So that would be cool to see.
I've only seen Chris in PPW, so just even this weekend, even with GSW, I'm looking forward to seeing him like just in a singles match.
Yeah.
Just see what he can do because there's in these multi-person matches, you see glimpses, and obviously it's like, hey, he's pretty good, but it's going to really be interesting to see him, like especially with him and you, like letting loose. Being in there with somebody like he knows he can go with, and
I
it's gonna be
missed
a lot of
it.
fun.
I missed it at another promotion. I didn't, but it didn't happen at PPW. But another promotion, I would like to see you and Trajan.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, we did. The match never happened because it was,
that's
it was
right.
the Outbreak show and they got switched. Well, we had the tag match.
I thought you guys had a match in a different promotion.
No, that was not.
Oh, it was a tag
That
match?
was supposed. Yeah, that was a tag match. It was Clayton or Clay Drasher and Trajan versus me and Matt Turner.
You used to.
That was the main event. That was last Friday.
Yeah,
that
that
was pretty good. Yeah,
that would be a fun match.
we did some lucha in the beginning too.
Yeah? Trajan's so.
I was like, I don't know what it's called, but here I'll show you.
Yeah,
I was like, just do this.
he's so underrated. I think people look at him and see his build, and they're like, and he's like,
fat
I'm the chubby
slot. Yeah,
daddy,
yeah.
and he kind of plays into it.
Yeah, like
And
even I don't want to blow up his spot. Never mind.
But no, then he gets in the ring, and it's like, holy shit, this guy can do stuff.
Yeah. I was Tony. It's on the car ride home thing for Outbreak. Tony asked me because that was my first Outbreak show. Like who was I kind of impressed with, and Trajan was one of the first people I brought up just because not just his ring work, which was really good, but just him getting involved with the fans and just mastering that persona. And
Trained at Backbreakers.
Yep.
So
Kurt, what was your last experience? Kind of not sitting as a fan, but sitting as backstage and getting interviews and stuff, and working with us at the podcast team. What was that experience different from normal?
Oh man, it was different for a lot of reasons. I think it was just cool being behind the curtain, seeing the guys like prepare for their matches, and seeing how Andy uses like a gallon of water to get his hair wet. I thought that was. I never realized how much water you really need. I was like, wow. And but I thought there was a big thank you to PPW. I mean, for letting us do that stuff. I mean, it's an awesome time. I know Chris, the other guy in the podcast with me. We just both really enjoyed just the aspect of being backstage and interviewing people, and it was just so much fun because normally I just sit in the front row and I go with what the show is showing me. It's just like it's not like it's bad, like a bad thing, but it's like it's not like this unique perspective. Whereas being backstage and like helping you do like camera work when we did some of those interviews with the fans, like stuff like that, I just like doing a lot, and it was really really a fun time.
Yeah, and the cool thing is too is like one of the things I actively try to do when I'm backstage is stay away from people when they're talking their storylines because I still want to be that fan aspect and not know what's going to happen.
Right.
And we still are up in the bleachers like guessing stuff and like it was fun. But it's definitely a different experience and kind of sitting there and physically talking to the guys a little bit backstage. It's a cool guys and girls. It's a neat experience.
Yeah, it definitely is. The thing that shocked me the most was, like, because I was just sitting up there, like, back by Brian and Chris, and I forget, there was two guys that came up. I think it was Bro Keller. I can't remember who the other person was, but they made sure to, like, shake all of our hands, and I was like, dude, do you even know who? Like, I'm just a little podcast that just comes in and like you have no idea who I am.
That's a wrestling thing. If you're behind the curtain or if you're at a show early before the general admission comes in, it is a very big respect thing for everyone to kind of go around and just introduce and shake hands.
Back in the day, it would kind of meant like you would work with the guy, like you gotta hurt him, and then it's kind of the agreement that you won't hurt each other and stuff like that. You can trust each other.
So that's definitely a thing you're going to experience a little more if you're in that situation.
That night was so awkward for me too because I was sick. So every time I was like, I'm sick. I have a call. It's going to give me the fist bump.
And they're like, thank you so much. Yeah. My favorite thing about that night was probably Facade. Because Facade, even though he's backstage and he's with the boys,
just looking at his process is so interesting and so fun.
He was like, yeah, I'm gonna do an interview, and we're like, oh, cool, we're gonna do an interview, and then he's like dribbling a basketball. He's like, man, I want to run out there, I want to get in there, I want to run around, I want to go do something, and he knew that he was doing a run-in. but was still playing it up to us as if he didn't know he was doing that run in.
That's cool.
And then he just dropped the basketball and took off and ran in. And I was like, it was such a cool thing. Like he mentally gets himself in a different mind state, and then he gets out, kind of like you do. Like when you're about to hit the curtain, you're back there headbanging, you're swinging your hair, you're getting everything, you're firing yourself up. You're like, it's such a cool thing to see people hit that switch.
Yeah. Because Facade, one of the great things about him is he's so laid back, so approachable, and first in, last out, and then just so intense and such. Like he is another guy, like I said about Trajan, that just inhabits who he is out there.
Yeah,
it's so amazing to see.
Absolutely. So what can we expect coming soon for PA Pile Driver?
Wow, well, we just released an episode earlier tonight. We have been a little bit of a hiatus for the past couple of weeks. We've all just had crazy busy lives. As we were just talking about in the episode, one of our guys, Brian, he just had his first kid. So we were a couple of weeks. Yeah, I'll let him know. He couldn't be there for a good reason. I'll let his reason be legitimate. Chris and I, we had conflicting schedules, but tonight we were all able to get together, had a cool episode. It was actually our longest episode ever.
Nice.
We uploaded tonight. It was like 58 minutes, something like that. I forget the exact time.
Nice.
But we just got new merch. I know we're doing a shirt trade at PPW.
Yeah, I'm actually doing 3 shirt trades that night.
Wow.
3.
Oh wow.
I'm doing one with you. I'm doing one with Deshaun
Okay.
Pratt, and then on the network we have. I thought they were green shirts, but they're lime green shirts. So I'm doing a shirt trade with Facade with a tornado. The only lime green tornado tag podcast.
One
shirt.
of a kind.
Yeah, it's a one of a. I mean, you could order one, but he's going to be the first one.
Until then, one of a kind.
Yeah, but I like that shirt trade idea. I think it's cool, and it saves me. Well, it saves me money, but it's a way to get mine out, and because I buy too many shirts.
Yeah, I got shirts. Hopefully, I hope they're ready for Saturday for the show. But
yeah,
I mean,
the new ones,
the new blue and gold ones.
Yeah,
nice.
What color will they be? What colors? Anyway,
purple and
no, not purple.
Oh, blue and gold.
My shirts are gonna be purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's all the mineral colors, there's the faded colors, a bunch of colors you can get.
Yeah.
So I would that's why I didn't post anything. I'm like, wait to get the physical shirt and then I'll post it. But
nice. I'm super pumped. I can't wait to get that new shirt. And I got an old school Andy Header shirt.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah, I'm so pumped.
I might have some more.
That's
too.
so awesome.
I had a few left, but they were so expensive now. Now they're so cheap. It's like, oh my god.
So who are some of the people that you're looking to talk to next show?
Oh, well, I mean, Facade, like you were talking about, he said he was getting ready to do an interview, and he just disappeared. So, Facade would be cool.
Facade is 100% yours. That's your interview.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Isaac Rule, of course, we've been talking. We have a cool idea for that one.
Oh, that's
I've known him. I've known him for many years because when we first started going, I'm going to break the fourth wall here, he was just a fan in the front row. And I would make sure, my dad and I just went up to him one day and we just started talking to him. And we're like, dude, you're bigger than half these guys. Like, why aren't you in the ring? And that was before Underdogs opened. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to school. And sure enough, I mean, he's No Limits champ now. So someone like him, or I mean, I'm talking to him right now. I'd love to do something with Andy. Christina Marie would be cool. There's definitely a couple people there that I'd definitely like to get some work with. I know Chris, who's on the podcast with me, one of his closest friends used to work with Johnny Moran for Nabisco.
Oh wow!
So I know maybe some with Johnny Moran would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see what we can do for you.
We could do his ass. Most people do it.
You could definitely have Andy. I've obviously interviewed him so many times now, so that'd be a nice thing.
Yeah, you're probably sick of him, right?
No,
in addition to doing the show every week, they do 2 shows together.
Yeah.
Not cool in high school. Yeah.
Not this past PPW show, but the one before that, you interviewed him for Wicked Turtle.
Yeah.
And then we interviewed him again.
At Outbreak.
At least Outbreak was more like a promo.
Yeah.
Green Gene thing.
Yeah.
So.
Outbreak, man, there's so much cool content coming out for Outbreak soon.
Oh my!
Wait till you see the Ed House interviews. We'll say interviews.
Oh my goodness!
They are. I had to. I got my editing skills down pat after that one. And then we might.
Just going to be a few words and then a bunch of beeps.
Yeah, a lot of beeps. A lot of beeps. But and then maybe it's very possible we might get some content at GSW. We were
message John Salinas tonight.
We've been working. We talked today. I just don't know how much space we have. So we're gonna bring our stuff. If we can set up, we're gonna do it.
Where the entranceway is where he sets all his sound up, and that's where Sean sits too, because he works for True Wrestling. But I think he's gonna be there. There's another opposite side, which equal space, but nothing's there.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, we'll bring our stuff. If there's room, we'll set up. If not, we'll just become fans and we'll watch the show and do our car ride home episode.
You got to park around back. Do not walk up the death stairs. Walk around the building because it's much safer.
Okay.
And not scary.
There's death stairs?
No, there's this fire escape, right? It's an old mill, so it's an old factory, right? And we're up on the 3rd floor. But if you walk around the front, you just go. You go in the door and up like 2 sets of stairs.
Yeah, we won't
If you go
do
to the
those.
back, it's like these fucking rickety
You ain't have to
metal
tell me
steps.
twice.
I was like halfway, I was like, I can't do it. I was like, I'm just keep going. I was like, never again. And it's like you step on them and they're like,
Yeah, I'm not doing
And
that.
it's just these old metal like fire steps that go up
Nope.
four floors.
You have me at
Because
rickety.
You gotta think like in the where the front of the building is like you walk in, that would be I guess the 1st or 2nd floor.
Yeah.
Right? But then the bottom is so far down because it's a hill that they built the building on. So that's
Yeah.
down like 4 floors, and you go up to base, sub base. It's like
It's like
you're like never again.
That's like my house. Like the front door, like on the outside, is ground level. Is my basement door.
Yeah.
and then it goes like into the hill. My back door is on the 1st floor of the house. Like they're on different levels, even though they're like the front door and the back
but I
door.
mean, other than that, the True Mill is pretty nice.
Yeah, here's a cool thing too. Possibly, this is kind of a nice thing because not only does PPW listen to kind of the podcast teams and they listen to our content and they kind of they use ideas or maybe build off ideas from our feedback. We had a really cool first interview because the first one behind the curtain a little bit. You were nervous, which is understandable. I get nervous every time I do it as well. I rush too much. That's my problem. I got to slow the hell down and I got to stop laughing because there's sometimes when the guy starts going, I smile or I laugh.
Just grab a hold, put him in a wrist lock.
Yeah, but we
Be like
got
Toy Shivani, look away.
yeah, we got the ones at Outbreak. The ones at Outbreak, I couldn't not. I had to walk off camera. But we interviewed Rembrandt, and maybe because of that interview, that can set up a title shot. Him and Isaac.
No, okay,
Yeah.
good.
Hopefully,
Possibly, yeah.
because he, I think he'd be a cool possible new face champion. I just kind of hope PPW starts using their champions a little more. Instead of putting them in tag matches.
It's kind of weird because there's almost too many belts. Like
there may be, but you
Yeah.
just got to put those guys in matches,
Yeah.
even if they're
And then they
quick
had a
matches.
rumble on that one show. It always
Yeah.
makes it tough when you have something that's going to be
Yeah.
that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the next couple shows, maybe throw some guys in there and let them defend their titles.
Well, I think they're really just trying to build stories for.
And they have some like four
Supercard.
or five really good stories going right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Awesome. Anything you want to get out there before we let you go?
Nothing. I mean, just like you said, we had this interview with Rembrandt this past week. I uploaded to our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can find all that stuff at the PA Piledriver Podcast. Next week, we have the interview with Lena Lennox after her debut at PPW.
Great interview.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah, definitely. And
that one, I was like, Kurt, go get her. And he's like, are you sure? I was like, she's a PPW debut. Go get her. And he's like, and then because I was like, I'm gonna make him do it. Like I was like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna be the one to ask her. And then he did it. He went down like, hey, I'm doing an interview, and she was like 100%.
Yeah.
Super
Most
super
people are
cool.
gonna
oh
say
yeah,
yes.
she was awesome.
Fantastic in the ring too.
Yeah, I know her from ACW. So.
Yeah, fantastic.
And not bad on the others either.
Atomic Champ, right? Or-
yeah, she's ACW Women's Champion and Monster Factory Women's Champion.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool.
But
Great interview.
And before you go, what's your favorite non independent promotion? So what's your favorite major promotion right now? You can say whatever you want. Whatever you like the most.
It's hard to pick between AEW and Impact. I mean, I was a WWE fan forever, and then today they lost me. But that's besides the fact.
We are going to dive all over that later.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could stay and dive into it with you, but I would probably make this go way too long.
Well, you're more than welcome to join us for the rest,
AEW.
but it just depends on how much time you have.
Yeah. Oh man, we got some house projects going on, so you gotta work on those. But yeah, probably AEW. They got a lot of cool stuff going on. I mean, if you're not on it, don't get on it because you're just going to be like. I feel like a lot of people today are going to be like, "Oh yeah, WWE, they're the worst," and they're just going to hop right on the AEW bandwagon and be like, "No, you weren't here." Okay. So, but yeah, AEW probably or Impact too. I mean, I've been to every Impact show that PPW and them have done. I've been to the one at the mall. Both times they were in Hazleton, and Impact's definitely awesome. I love the North, the Ethan Page and Josh Alexander. So, yeah, they're definitely one of my favorite tag teams out there right now.
We had a USA chant for them. They're doing USA.
I remember that.
Yeah, man. I'm a huge. I don't watch it as much as I want to. I want to make it a point to start watching it once things start slowing down for me podcast wise. But I have to use one of those bunk sites because I don't have cable and it's not.
I wouldn't know what channel it's on if we get asked money. I remember Destination America and then
Access
went to
TV now. Anthem literally bought the station for Impact.
Yeah.
Like they bought the station to put Impact on it, and they kicked New Japan off.
I know Access. I think DirecTV gets it.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Or Dish Network.
But their roster and seeing their roster on such a small level when it comes to an indie house show and they're willing to go there and do those type of shows, A, it gets them a lot of respect from me, and 2, it shows how much fun those rosters have. And it makes me like that as promotion more.
And now they're doing that huge thing where it's going to be the first time ever for a major primary championship like that. They're going to have 2 women go for it. It's going to be Taya and Tessa for the world title.
Wow. How about Jordan Grace is now the power
Knockouts.
The Knockouts champion, yeah.
That's the women's title.
Yeah, she's
I don't really
she is
catch
a
it.
knockout too.
But I mean there's only so much time in a day. Yeah. And there's so much wrestling now.
All right, man. Well, thank you for calling in. And we'll see you next PPW show, man.
All right, thanks, you guys. You guys have a good night.
See you,
too.
bud.
Thank you, Curtis.
All right, see ya.
King Curtis, that was.
Sullivan!
King Curtis.
My son!
Go check him out over at the PA Pile Driver podcast. Give them a follow. They're really good group of guys. Starting out in the podcast world, and we're kind of bringing them along, myself and the Wicked Turtle team, and just kind of saying, well, you don't really have the equipment, but let's get you more FaceTime and get you in there and get some content for you. So.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, yawn.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it right away. First one would be SmackDown.
I thought we were talking about the full full diaper the internet has now.
No, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. So SmackDown.
I heard SmackDown is the shits. I listened to Post Wrestling and they said that
SmackDown.
It was not good. It starts off with Usos promising that they will super kick party Dolph Ziggler and The Miz.
Dolph Ziggler is immediate fast forward for me.
Yeah, it sucks because he's so good in the ring.
Yeah, but his characters are so beaten. I just don't care.
Usos and the New Day defeat Ziggler, Rude, Morrison, and Miz. The match wasn't terrible, but it was kind of bleh.
It's just there.
Tucker confronts Fire and Desire, and Renee Young interviews Lacey Evans. Pretty much, Tucker goes up and says, "Oh, you stood my boy up," kind of building that story more. It was actually a decent promo. It wasn't terrible, and people are really invested in this Otis Mandy thing.
It's so weird. That's getting really good reviews, really good reception, but apparently when those segments come on Fox, the ratings aren't so good. And it's like the opposite of the Rusev Lana Bobby Lashley thing that everybody hated, but the viewership would go through the roof whenever those segments were on.
Yeah. And then we had the Symphony of Destruction match.
You're acting like a robot.
I've heard that basically Corey Graves' entire commentary is like shoehorning as many Megadeth references as
That's what I would have did.
But it ends in a weird way. Braun Strowman picks up Nakamura from the commentator's table and then jumps onto a grand piano and does his power slam.
Fucked him up.
And the piano didn't budge.
Yeah.
Oof. And Shinsuke,
his head was bleeding, right?
Yeah, he busted his head open real bad.
It's been a bad week for that. There's been a lot of people getting busted up.
Yeah, it looked like it was bad. Like even Shinsuke was holding his head and he's like, ow, 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 and then they threw him off and there was just blood everywhere. The camera's cut right away.
Yeah.
But it was not pretty. I don't know if the piano was supposed to give out, like the legs were supposed to give out, but it did not budge. Then we had a moment of bliss with the Bella Twins. Ugh.
I heard that was just the Bella Twins are so unlikable.
Yeah, they
just come off as complete bitches.
Yeah, it was terrible.
They have one redeeming quality I can think of.
Yeah, their hotness.
No, I was thinking something else. They're big Eagles fans.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, that's a double whammy then. Then we had Daniel Bryan versus Heath Slater set up. It was not good.
Poor Daniel Bryan.
Number one contenders match: Naomi versus Carmella.
I heard this was pretty good.
Good match.
Yeah.
It was a good match. Naomi defeats Carmella. It got a C+ from them, but I don't think it was a terrible match.
My friend said it was very good for a women's match.
Both got new gear.
Okay.
Carmella's wearing like a 2-piece bathing suit, and Naomi's wearing something that's like really open in the front, and she kind of has like the cleavage thing going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they both had some new stuff.
What color is Carmella's hair right now?
Blonde. She's back to blonde.
I liked her maroon. I thought that set her apart.
Yeah, when she was darker.
I like the one-piece bathing suit thing she was doing for a while,
with
too.
the money on it. That one would look cool.
Goldberg returns and goes after the Fiend.
I bet he does.
And gave him a spear, and then the lights turn off. And
Vince
that's how
loves them ratings Goldberg
and
gets.
then because everyone loved it so much, we got it, right?
Yeah.
So then that's going to be for SmackDown. We're going to go through this really quick. Another quick thing, I just want to give a quick plug. We got to meet another podcast.
Yeah.
Another podcast. And a lot of people are like, man, you guys are just plugging every other podcast, because that's what we do.
Comrade,
we are already in a diluted market. So
SaveWithTony.com.
Yeah.
So let's
Chew.
all work together. But
Omaha
there is
Steaks.
the official Rope Break podcast.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
They do it in English and Spanish, and we met the guy.
Oh, Dios mío.
Yeah, at the guy we met Jose, one of the members at Outbreak, and we did an interview with him and kind of put his podcast over. But they upload every day, so after Raw's over, they get right on like a Twitch stream, and they go.
Yeah.
They're doing cool stuff. Raw starts off with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens.
And Matt Hardy again.
And the promo got an A from them. It was all right. Good match here. Humberto Carrero versus Andre Garza. I'm trying to do it like her accent.
Angel.
Yeah.
No, he actually uses Angel because he even
really?
though Angel would be the Spanish because he likes he's called Angel, but he acts like a devil.
Oh, okay.
That's a choice.
They got to change their guy's name. Humberto's a fucking stupid name, and not just because it's Spanish. I mean, there's white guys that have stupid names.
Yeah.
Wesley.
This only got a B+. I thought it was a good match.
I love that. I love the one spot where they have their legs kind of grapevine and they're on their heads and like slapping each other.
Yeah.
That was probably edited out of Hulu.
Yeah, that
100%.
I say it every week.
Hulu Raw is very racist.
Angel Garza is like my guy right now in WWE.
We were talking about like a top 5 guy.
The other guy, Carrillo, he can't talk.
He can't.
It's good in the ring though.
Yeah, he's a good wrestler.
And they wrestled again on the Super Showdown show today, and they have.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're cousins. They're legitimately cousins. They have great chemistry together.
Yeah. And then we got Ricochet versus Luke Gallows. Interesting match, but Ricochet won.
How about that?
Yeah, I'd say.
Brock comes out and does a promo, and it was all right. He vowed to beat up, Ricochet, which wonder how that worked out for him. Then we had Aleister Black versus Eric Rowan again. Not a terrible.
And Black was a little bit wounded this time because he had gotten jumped by the OC backstage.
Yeah, Black he's just coming around. His work in the ring speaks for itself, but he's just so.
Yeah, he's really good. I wish to just never have him talk.
Yeah.
Just talk.
Then we had a Drew McIntyre interview.
I am looking for a fight with you.
I just wish they wouldn't have him say the same thing over and over again. He's not a bad talker. It's just they give him awful material.
Or maybe, but they said, hey, just go out there and say what you want. Don't curse and don't say anything racist.
R-Truth and Bobby Lashley. It was a squash. And then we get the Elimination Chamber signing contract.
I did watch this. I liked when Liv finally dived over the thing at Ruby. I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Man, I hope they do.
I thought
Liv
Natty
right.
looked really good. I'm like, wow, look at Natty. She looks good there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That match is like, Shane's going to win.
And then we have this weird match where Seth Rollins versus Monte Ford, and then Murphy versus Angelo Dawkins. Like they split the tag teams up.
No, they had 2 separate matches.
Yeah, and it was Dawkins defeated Murphy and then Rollins defeated Ford. Then we end the night with Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, and Orton defeats Kevin Owens. I believe there was some interference.
It was a screwy referee.
That's what it was,
the referee.
the
referee. At first, you're thinking that's just a really bad referee because he's missing things and all that, and you're like, what's going on here? And then he keeps like kind of allowing Rollins to cheat, and at the very end, he does the quick count.
Yeah.
And
Nick Patrick.
Yeah, well, he actually counted fast though. That's a big difference. And then he's outside and he's like just checking on Rollins. Like, "Are you okay, sir?" He's like acting really weird toward Rollins. And Kevin Owens comes out and just grabs his shirt and rips it open. And he's got a Monday Night Messiah shirt on.
I guess he's one of his followers. Like, that's a cool angle. But I don't know. I don't give 2 shits about Seth Rollins right now.
Do you want to? All right, so
crew?
We're not going to do our Wednesday night battle here.
Yeah, I didn't see any NXT. I only seen the end of NXT. The last 2 minutes.
I didn't see any of either show because I did an interview Wednesday night yesterday at the theater, and
theater.
and I came home and I had to reset everything up again and get everything ready for today, and then do all the edits because I want to get that interview out for Monday. So I didn't see anything. So a lot of this I'm just going to kind of go through.
I can run it through if you want.
I have it all. I have it on doc here. You can kind of talk a little bit as I go through it. So it starts off. It's a Chicago show in AEW,
which is where the pay-per-view is going to be too, I believe.
Yep. Is it?
No, I thought.
No. Yeah, All Out is
All
going to
Out,
be.
yeah.
They were in. I thought this was in a different place. I thought this was in.
What's 3 days? Oh, yeah. Revolution's in Chicago. This show was not in Chicago.
Yeah, this show was somewhere else, but it was a good crowd. They've been lucky with good crowds the past couple weeks.
30-minute Iron Man match with Kenny Omega and Pac.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And let me tell you, it flew by, and I was like, it could have been an hour.
I usually hate Iron Man matches because I feel like you can just tune out until the last 2 or 3 minutes. But they did some good work in
a brainbuster off the top, super brainbuster by Pac to Kenny, the Falcon Arrow from the ring apron to the floor. It's like, oh my god!
They pulled out all the stops.
When Pac
Omega,
did something, he catches him, he does that DDT on the floor. Like, ooh!
Omega went up 1-0, and then it was tied up 1-1.
Pac got him with he hit him with the chair on purpose, so that way he could knock him down to go up and hit the Black Arrow, and then he was up on one. So he took the loss to get a win, so it was tied. Still, it was okay, it made sense.
Yeah. And then Omega defeats Pac.
Also,
falls to
the
one.
shooting star press through the table on the outside was. They took out Mark referee. What's his name? Something Turner. Paul Turner.
Paul Turner. And not Matt Turner. That's your partner.
Yeah. And then we had the Orange Cassidy comes in, and
that was a little bit later. They did an interview with Pac up at with Shivani a little bit later in the night.
Okay.
Orange Cassidy. I can actually go through it chronologically if you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
the match was very good. So if you want to watch one match, watch the.
That match was phenomenal.
Match.
As far
the next
as
one on the list is Inner Circle Jurassic Express.
Yeah, and by the way, this was in Kansas City.
And then Kenny he hit the Kamagoe, which is Kota Ibushi's move, and Pac kicked out, and then he finally hit the. One-Wing Angel, that was it.
And it was
sudden death.
They went into overtime.
And Aubrey Edwards came out, and the pop was huge for her because when Paul Turner got knocked out, and then we need a referee. Then Aubrey,
they
start
love
chanting
her.
for her. Yeah,
she's doing a podcast with him now. The AEW is
did that
official
start?
podcast. Yeah, I think it started last
it's
week.
her and Tony Schiavone.
Wow,
I want to listen to it.
Jurassic Express defeats the Inner Circle. Anything crazy in that one?
No, it was a good match.
They did a thing where they almost threw Marco into the crowd.
Yeah, they threw Marco I guess it was he climbed up on Luchasaurus and jumped off, and then LAX catches him, and they went to throw him back or something.
Yeah,
and he was like, whoa!
And Jungle Boy I think was supposed to catch him after that, or somebody was supposed to catch him, but he almost overshot him. He went into the crowd.
Oh wow. Butcher and the Blade versus
and the other big thing, just to advance the angle on that match, was Darby Allin came out to kind of help the Jurassic Express afterward. And they did a thing in the commercial. It always reminded me of that NXS video where they had the signs. If you're old like we are, remember that?
Yeah.
It was, he was just he had signs out while they had the picture-in-picture, and he was basically...
He was doing the Guevara thing.
Yeah, teasing the match with Sammy Guevara,
yeah. The Butcher and the Blade versus the Best Friends.
Yeah, the big thing here, the match was what it was. It was a match. It was a tag match. But they had a face-off between the Bunny and
Orange Cassidy. So Orange Cassidy always went. Tony Schiavone was interviewing Pac after a match, and blah blah blah. And then Orange Cassidy came out and was like, "Whoa!" Got his face, and Pac just took him out, setting up the match, the pay-per-view. So that's why he was a little hurt here. But yeah, he did the thing with the Bunny. Did you see it?
Yeah. She took his sunglasses off. And then he took her bunny ears.
Yeah, because she took the sunglasses off, and then she goes to give him a little blow. He catches it, puts it down, spins her, and takes the ears and puts them on. And it's like, whoa. and then I forget, one of them, Butcher comes in to get him, and then he does a dive outside onto the Blade. I might have that reversed.
Yeah. Because
then the Best Friends hit the Strong Zero and win the match.
Yep. Yeah, and then the big thing is Trent Beretta later asks him, because he's going to wrestle Pac at the pay-per-view, he asks Orange Cassidy if he's going to try. And Orange Cassidy gives a thumbs up, and the crowd chants, "He's going to try."
Yeah, he's actually going to try.
And
he just does that
the little
he doesn't even stick his thumb up. He just does
But that should be a really good match if you have Orange Cassidy actually going all out with Pac.
Yeah, they let him loose. And then we had a 4-way contender to find out who's going to be the, I guess, new number one contender.
Yeah, it was 4-way
for the women's title.
For the women's title, yeah. Well, I don't know if it was number one contender or not, because aren't they doing?
Yeah, because Chris Statlander is the number one contender.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
she's wrestling Nyla at the pay-per-view.
but this
I think
was
this is like to find out who's next in line or whatever. I don't know.
It was Shanna, Yuka Sakazaki, Big Swole, and Hikaru Shida, and Yuka Sakazaki had her music, so that was a big thing.
She was the most over, I thought, but this was a little like it seemed like they planned out the match, and then last second they said, "Hey, Yuka's in it too. Just put her in, whatever." And it was a little sloppy.
Yeah, and Hikaru Shida wound up getting the win.
Yeah, with her kill shot, basically. Adam Cole's finisher.
Finish with a B. We got to be there.
They had some cool spots, but it was just it looked a little sloppy.
So here's the thing. A lot of people online were saying if WWE would have tried to end it this way, it would have been a fucking nightmare. But AEW ends the night.
Oh, I was gonna say Big Swole had Storm 90s gear.
Did
and
she?
Shauna has Dragon Ball Z gear. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had a sit down with like the Young Bucks.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah,
that's not even on here.
Yeah, there sit down. It was Jim Ross interviewing the Young Bucks and Kenny and Hangman.
It was one of those like pre-tape things, like before the show.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Hangman was saying like he's like the minute I win, so I finally get my title, and you want to take it away from me. And then it's like I forget Nick or Matt said it's like you were nothing when we fought. You put up in elite, you were a jobber in ROH. So it was really good. That and like the I thought the Iron Man match and then the main
torn
event
between his two friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not going to say anything. And there was a Dark Order thing.
Yeah, teasing the Exalted One.
Yeah, and at the very end he goes, Christopher Daniels, you have been deemed obsolete, and he snapped his fingers, which is obviously Matt Hardy's thing.
No, is it really? Like, when is
I don't
Matt
know.
Hardy
That makes you
officially-
think it might not be Matt though.
I know
they're teasing.
now
it.
they're just teasing too
It's like
hard.
the one guy they're not teasing is Luke Harper, so maybe it's him.
Yeah, but
Or
he
maybe
can't
it's
talk.
That's
like,
true.
Here's the Exalted One.
You don't have to. Just give
Yeah, but
Odo
if
the
you just
mic.
stand there and it's
He just goes.
I think
He whispers in their ear.
that's a talking role.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be the leader of a group and not
When's
speak.
Hardy up? His contract?
Saturday or something, March 1st.
That's Sunday.
Yeah, so he can't be at the pay-per-view, but he can be at Dynamite the next week.
Maybe they can like do a thing on the. Remember,
He won't have a no compete clause, right?
No,
his
because his
contract's
contract
up.
is up. So it's now if he that's like if he got released or if they whatever they call it, they give you the release when you don't want it. They can kind of fire you.
Yeah, and those guys get paid for those 90 days. Too.
Yeah.
They get their downside.
Yeah, so he's like when it's
WWE's probably like, are you resigning? He's
Yeah.
like,
well, I heard that thing where they're going to put him in NXT or something. Well, I don't want to see him wrestle. I just want him to be a wacky character.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to
They should do the thing they did with the higher power with the ministry,
Yeah.
where Austin's tied up in the ropes, and the guy comes in with the hood, and he just like puts his hood up,
Yeah.
so like Austin sees what nobody else does. That's how they get
and
around.
it's Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, but that they could, or just somebody that's like roughly Matt Hardy's size.
I'll do it.
There you go.
Andy will join the
then
Dark Order.
Matt Hardy released a video today, and it was called "Dear Dr. RKO," and that's what whatever that's called.
Anagram? Yeah.
When you switch letters around, it spells out the Dark Order.
That's great.
Yeah, and like the whole thing, like it's kind of playing in his hands because Randy Orton, like he kind of became a martyr. He beats him up and he hits him in the head, so occasionally he's going to be crazy, which is that trope I don't like. But still, like
He broke him.
yeah, it's leading right to it. And in the video, he has his beard coming back because Broken Matt has a beard. So I don't know. I was betting, man. I think I'd bet on Broken Matt being the leader.
Oh my god, that'd be fantastic.
I think that'd be wonderful. I know Tyler doesn't like, but I love it.
I would love
Broken
it too.
Matt is so good. It's much better than 1999 Matt Hardy.
Yeah. AEW Championship weigh-in with John Moxley and Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Now, did you
And
notice? you
special
didn't see it.
guest.
Yeah, Gary Michael Capetta.
Gary Michael.
So, he was an announcer in WCW in the early 90s and Ring of Honor for years and years.
Yeah.
And he's still good.
And a Spanish teacher in Jersey.
Wow, how about that? Yeah, I was on a show with him once. He's a very nice guy.
He was before even that, he was a local announcer for WWF.
Oh, wow.
He would do the Spectrum shows in
Okay,
Philly, and I
wow.
think some of the spa shows in New Jersey. Anything Gorilla Monsoon was like the main promoter for.
Yeah.
I think that's how Gary Michael Capetta got in.
GMC. Yeah,
Be a very before David Penzer, he was like the voice of WCW as far as ring announcers.
any of those, like from like 90, probably even 89 to like 93 in WCW, he's on them all.
Anytime I think of Marcus Alexander Bagwell, I think of Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
The Patriot. But I like how Jericho came out and they did the Royce Gracie, like they all marched in a line. They put their hands on each other's
Gracie
shoulders.
train, yeah.
Oh, really?
They
They
did
did a
that.
Gracie
It
train?
was basically like a spoof of MMA.
Yeah.
The Painmaker Posse, yeah, that's what they called him. And he got busted up legit. He had to get 7 stitches. He took a headbutt from Moxley.
Oh, is that
Jericho.
real? I didn't know if that was real or
Yeah,
not.
I think he had to get
Wow.
7 stitches.
Yeah, because it was like he hit him. I was like, "Dude, that's a." Because Jericho kept stalling. Moxley gets weighed, and then Jericho gets on, and he's like, "Oh, he gives the belt," and he gets off, and gets on, takes off his scarf, or that like the
bandana.
Yeah, they has to take off his thing, and he's like, "Well," and they calls I guess some sports guy a piece of shit. I didn't get the reference.
Yeah.
wherever they were. So that was pretty cool. And then Moxley finally headbutts him, and a big brawl breaks out. And then Darby Allin came back down. Is that there? And then was that when they broke the skateboard over Darby Allin?
Yeah, they broke the skateboard. Guevara
He swings it, and Sammy ducks, and he grabs the skateboard and breaks over his head.
No blood?
No. Not there. And then
Kansas City, I'm going to guess they were talking about somebody with the Chiefs, the Kansas City football team won the Super Bowl.
So I guess whoever was the
I didn't. I was kind of half watching the way, and the sound was really low.
But it was pretty good. I mean, wrestling makes no sense, but it's different than contract signing.
Yeah. We'll jump over to NXT now. I did watch a little bit of the beginning, so some of them I have. So it starts off with
Dominic Dijakovic.
Yeah, thank you. I fucking suck with that one. And
I always just call him Dijak.
Cameron Grimes. Match was good. It was a fun match, but then at the very, very end, Damian Priest comes out, hits Dijakovic, and hurts his knee, and then Grimes gets the roll-up pin.
That's weird. Oh, I thought they were going for Dijak and Keith Lee.
They're teasing Keith Lee and Priest for the North American title.
Priest.
Finn Balor comes out.
This is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we might have our first grand, not like a grand slam, but like a triple universal champion, like a world, the world champion, because Finn Balor comes out and he does a promo, and then all of a sudden
you hear Wagner,
the Imperium comes out. And then they say, you say you're this and you say you're that, but we have a message from Walter, and he wants you.
Oh, that's weird.
So does Finn
Finn's been a heel?
Is Finn going to be the first guy to win a main roster title
and both NXT titles?
And both NXT titles.
Could be.
Maybe. That should be a good match, Finn versus Walter.
Yeah, that
Finn
should be winning the UK championship.
Yeah. I think.
I don't see that happening in the first match, though. Maybe the second.
I don't know. I think that takeover Tampa Bay is going to be a hell of a because it looks like you're already building toward Gargano and Ciampa again. I don't know who Cole's going to go against, but
Dream.
Probably.
Yeah, because they're doing a cage match between Dream and Roddy. Cage match is hopefully a blow off. It should be a blow off. So. That would be interesting.
Maybe we get
doing 2 cage matches next week.
What if we get a weird Adam Cole goes up against a main roster guy?
I was thinking maybe somehow this whole thing does turn Roddy face and he breaks off from the Undisputed Era and do Adam Cole and Roddy. But yeah, even if it's Dream, whoever it is, but beyond Adam Cole's match. You're going to have a women's ladder match, I think they announced. I don't know if that's official or not, because Rhea's not going to be on the show, so the women's match is going to be determining whoever's the number one contender.
Yeah, maybe you will be back by then.
And then you're going to have Ciampa and Gargano. You're going to have probably Walter and Finn. That's 3 matches. They're going to be really, really high level. Yeah. And then I'm not crazy that they're going to do Keith Lee and Damian Priest. Maybe it's a 3-way with Dijakovic. Maybe even working another guy there.
Yeah.
Maybe Cameron Grimes because he did get that win.
Or Killer Cross.
Maybe they give a fast track to what's his name, the Evolve champ,
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. Adam
him
Cole.
like a jobber.
He was a little competitive with Ciampa.
He took Ciampa to the limit. So maybe we get.
Didn't he get beat up this week though?
They had a match this week. They had an actual. He got beat. He got the shit kicked out of him last week.
Yeah.
But this week they had a.
He just squeaked by.
They had a very competitive match.
Yeah, and then we had Mia Yim versus Lee. It was not
Xia Li.
Yeah.
Xia Li.
Xia Li's still a little green yet.
Not the greatest. And then we had some interference.
I like how the Xia Li's look though.
With what's her name?
Dakota Kai and Raina Gonzalez came out after the match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How Dakota Kai look?
She doesn't do it for me.
She looks so hot at the pay-per-view.
I think she looks a lot better as a heel.
My god, she looks so good.
Then we had Ciampa versus Austin Theory. That happened. Ciampa defeats Theory by pinfall. It got a B. I thought it was a good match.
I thought it was very good. Yeah.
This is where I stopped. This is where I fell asleep. Killian Dane versus Bronson Reed.
It was too short. They didn't give it enough time.
Who was Bronson Reed before?
Jonah Rock. He's the big Australian guy.
Oh, okay.
The thick boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we had the Grizzled Young Veterans versus the Forgotten Sons.
I thought this match was way too long.
Yeah, it got
especially Forgotten Sons. That's like releasing them.
Grizzled Young Veteran. I know
there's one dude on that team that's good, and the rest is throwaway.
I know Tyler's a big fan. I mean, they're okay. I don't think they're anything special.
The bald guy and the guy with long hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the one NXT UK tag team that really stood out to me was Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because that's like the mod guy, right?
They're like the Bucks, but like they're flashy. They do dives. They're crazy.
mean, but they can do some other stuff
Yeah.
too. But the Grizzly Young Veterans, I guess I know Tyler really likes them from their time in like Progress and the UK indie scene. But from what I've seen, I mean, they're not bad, but they're not good enough to get a really good match out of the Forgotten Sons.
Yeah.
And that match went on forever.
Yeah,
Probably because the Forgotten Sons that made it seem longer.
And apparently the Forgotten Sons are baby faces now.
Yeah, because they're trying to do like this American gimmick.
Because they are really veterans.
Yeah.
And then that's why that's what the feud is, because the Grizzly Young Veterans doing the anti-American thing, and like they're saying you're disrespecting by calling yourselves veterans because we're like actually veterans.
Yeah. Then we end the night with Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair. Charlotte Flair defeats Belair by
the
pinfall.
last 2 minutes were sloppy.
The outside the ring stuff I thought was a little disjointed.
Yeah, when they were trying to did they fuck up? Did Bianca get lost?
It looked like
I'm gonna throw you. No, I'm gonna throw you.
Yeah, and then like outside when somebody was going into the post, it looks like they kind of stopped really short and then like did a really
and then they came back in and it's like Bianca spear, and then Charlotte gets up right away spear, and then what's her flip move called, Mr. Perfect move?
natural selection.
Yeah, and then that was it. I was like, that was weird.
The way
that was awkward.
the way she chained those two was good.
Yeah, I like how she did that, but other than that,
the stuff before that was a little shaky.
And then Rhea comes out to save her, but still waits for her music to cue, and still does her foot stomp to the music. That takes like 20 seconds.
And it's off time every time.
And Charlotte's already stomping her leg. Charlotte got a chair to put her leg in the chair, and like Rhea's supposed to come stop it. Rhea took so long that Charlotte was able to not only hit it once and I think hit twice, and then hit her with the chair. And I was like, "What the fuck?" That's a WWE
I do like
thing.
that Charlotte didn't do that wrestling trope though, where somebody's music hits. So I'm going to stop everything I do.
I don't know what to do.
She's like, no, I'm going to still beat up Bianca.
Because like Miz did that too. It's like, oh, I'm so mad at the Fiend, but I'm still going to do my full entrance like that. And someone posted a video. I guess it was WWE, and then someone's like, I like how Bianca took her whole time to do her entrance to come out. It's like that's the first comment with like 100 likes on it. And like,
I'm trying to find I don't have the link for fucking Pro Wrestling Scorecards.
But I think AEW was slightly better this week if we're going to like hand it to
yeah. So I always seen the end of NXT. So I can't miss it. AEW was a very good show though.
AEW has, I think, a lot of little problems they had. They're getting pretty good at kind of erasing them a little bit, and it's a go home show, so they had a lot to build to. NXT's kind of they're starting to build toward the next takeover, but AEW's kind of farther along in that, so they had a little more focus, and they had the best match of the night with Pac and Kenny.
Yeah. I mean, that's hard for anybody to beat that. But it was a really good show. AEW's had a string of really good shows. I think they're hitting their stride. I mean, they're still in the first year, basically. Yeah. So
first half of the year, really.
Yeah.
They've only been going like full bore since
they're doing good.
September.
It's very entertaining. So
we got a little more information when it comes to the toys. We got some new news on the
for
toys.
the AEW line.
Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying, do you want to talk a little bit?
I was going to say, I don't know anything about the new information.
Well, I know because
we
know
the
stuff I was talking about. Yeah.
I know there's a little bit of confusion between what series 1 and 2, because I know you were saying...
I thought it was all one, but apparently it's 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2, but they're going to come out the same year.
That's all one. Yeah, they're coming out the same exact time. That's one series.
But everything's going to be $20. That's the price point.
Great price point.
Even the ring.
Fair.
The ring, like the basic ring they're doing is $20. And the replica, not like an actual replica, but the toy title.
Yeah, the toy title replica.
The figures are all $20. I think the ones that might be more expensive, like that first run, they're doing like the Jericho, the Cody, but there's also the Painmaker Jericho's like the
with
standard
the hat
one.
And coat, yeah.
They're also doing an Inner Circle Jericho with a microphone.
Yeah, and the shirt.
That one is only good. They're only doing 1,000 of them.
Because that's the chase.
Yeah, and then
they call that when there's like a different figure.
And there's a Star Trek version of Cody, and that one they're only making 500.
Oh, okay.
But then the blue and gold Cody is
with the sledgehammer.
Yeah, the Double or Nothing Cody is going to be the standard run one.
Oh, okay, and he's series 1, and then 2 is like MJF
and
Lucha Bros.
Yeah,
Moxley, Lucha Bros. They're also doing a different ring. They have a ring that's to scale, where it's the same size, like with the dimensions of the figures, where it would be like being in a 2020 ring.
So they could suplex each other without hitting the ropes. Like,
and
if you're playing with
and
it.
actually, the canvas is actually made of
canvas.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. The toys look great so far.
But that deluxe ring is going to be 100.
Oh, okay.
And then the standard ring, that's a lot more like the Hasbro ring.
Yeah, it's like 20, but still, that's
for
going to
kids,
be 20. You know,
is there any? Are you gonna collect any of these?
I don't know, because I'm running out of space for toys. If I had a house, I might get the Jericho with the Painmaker outfit.
Okay.
I will buy the Orange Cassidy one when that one comes out, which is probably, it has to be the next series. who else would you?
You think that would sell like hotcakes?
Yeah.
Too. Like, isn't his merch like one of the best selling?
Yeah, his shirt's like the top selling shirts. They got to make Orange Cassidy Series 3.
I want the
Well,
shirt
it might be
where
3 and 4.
I want the shirt of him on his shirt.
No, it keeps going.
Wearing,
yeah,
I want that
He used
shirt.
to sell that,
but
true.
you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, because he would sell that. You got to buy
Yeah.
that from him.
Yeah. I want that shirt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want that one bad. All right. We will dive back into AEW pay-per-view on Saturday. But first, let's talk about the big news.
Super Showdown.
GCW.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
I do have the full card here. If you
this Saturday.
GSW, not GCW. That's
That's what I was thinking. What's going on? GC
Nick
Deathmatch or
Gage.
something?
Yeah.
Nick Gage versus Andy Header. You heard it
Oh
here
my
first.
God. No, thank you.
GSW.
We have light tubes. We're gonna get some
Yeah.
practice in for you.
Yeah. GSW this Saturday in Pine.
I have
Plains, PA.
Plains.
Close. Plains, PA
It
is
is,
the True Mill.
I have it here. It's the True Mill, 75 Stark Street, Plains, PA. It's the second floor of the
It's
building.
basically like right outside Wilkes-Barre, like Pottsville, Palo Alto, like that. It's, so you don't got to leave far if you go to Wilkes-Barre.
Andy will be Andy will be wrestling.
Yes.
and we will be in attendance.
Wow, how about that?
Our
It should be a good show.
This is our first time at a GSW show.
Yes, because it has been defunct for 3 years now. Since
And this is our
2017,
first.
I believe.
This is our first show
2018?
outside of Outbreak and PPW. that
Oh
we're
wow,
going to.
yeah. So
Headed
you'll
north
see
of
some-
Hazleton,
some
yeah.
new people,
Yeah.
some New York people.
Doors are 7 o'clock, just if anybody's interested in headed out on Saturday. Bell time is 7:30. $15 for front row. That's a hell of a value.
Yeah.
General admission, $10.
Okay, there you go. I was like, what is that? I was going to say.
And they
drugs.
You can actually get your tickets online ahead of time through brown paper tickets. It's GSW, Grand Slam Wrestling is what it stands for. Look at Andy's shirt.
Yeah.
It's GSW one more
That's cool.
time, all no dots or dashes. I think GSW one more time .bpt for brownpapertickets.me.
Yeah, or go to Facebook and type in
Yeah, just
Grand
look up-
Slam Wrestling and then you get the link.
GSW one more time.
We
yeah.
will have the links below as
Yeah.
well.
And just, if you want to run down the card real quick, we have Kit Raff against Adina Steele.
Yeah,
so
and
you're
that
just-
we-
That we
intergender
put in.
match, yeah.
We put Kit Kat.
Yeah, Kit Kat. No, it was Kit. Was it Kit Kat?
I thought
No.
we put Kit Kat or something funny, and he called. We're
Kit
like,
Taff or
Yeah.
yeah, they autocorrect it.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny because when we had Adina on, she talked about how she was, because of her training, she was very comfortable in intergender matches, wrestling with men. And we've seen her in mixed tags and everything, but this is like a straight up, she's wrestling a dude. So it's going to be a chance to her to kind of see her in that.
I think she's getting
environment
better
she's
and
more
better and
comfortable.
better. She's getting really good. She's getting really good. Like at first when you seen her, she would kind of pull punches a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think also her being around Chris as much.
Yeah.
And when working together and training together, like they come back. Like it's a cool thing to see. Like so when they had their match and they came back, like to hear like Facade and Danny talk, and everyone's like, "Oh, that was a great match." And Danny's like, "What did I do wrong?" And Facade's like, "This, and this," and everyone's like, "It wasn't that bad." He's like,
Yeah,
"Work on this."
A
and
lot of
that."
times people
They'll like
sugarcoat things because they want to give a compliment, but they don't want to say anything bad. But that's how you get better. Is
Yeah.
well, the suplex look a little weird.
Yeah,
You know?
and the same way Adina goes to Chris, and he's like, listen, like, because you guys are tougher. Like, I think it's better coming from you guys being tougher on each other because it's for me to be like, hey, that looked like shit,
Yeah.
and I never
Like, well, who
trained.
the fuck's this guy?
I never
Yeah.
trained. Who the fuck am I? So I mean I'll give critique, but I don't come from a spot like
Yeah.
where I'm just like when someone says like this guy sucks, like
Yeah.
it's hard for me to do that because I've never done it, like you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
I've never wrestled in front, I never did anything in front of 20,000 people, so you know, or anything in that caliber, or even on a smaller scale, like so it's hard for me to come out that angle.
Yeah, I can't speak for Tony, but I know I was a little weirded out just being on an empty stage last night because I helped him out doing he interviewed the cast of Clue for it's a
Yeah.
community theater thing in Pottsville next weekend, and just being on an empty stage when those lights, it's like whoa,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was an awesome, probably one of my favorite backdrops so
Really?
far at a podcast.
Yeah.
So I've done like a local bar where like I set this table up at
Yeah.
a bar. We didn't even use this table. We actually used the table that you're going to see on stage
Oh,
for
that's
Glue.
cool.
So we're actually using props.
yeah,
Yeah, it looks so nice now. So last time I was in there, it was the farmers market. So that's probably like 1995, somewhere around
Wow.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
years ago. And I guess where you guys were sitting, to the left, you could buy produce. So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been. I've been there a few times for there are a few different plays. I saw the lieutenant governor there, so it's
It's a nice building.
yeah, it is. Lieutenant governor was actually the Pennsylvania. was actually the Big Show's stand-in in the movie before.
Really? Wow.
Because he's like 6 foot, I think 9 or something like that.
Wow.
So yeah,
Holy shit.
he's a big fella.
So what's our next match?
The next match is, speaking of Chris Banks against Brute Van Slyke.
Yeah, so Brute's a former Adrenaline champion, which is like the mid-card title, and world champion there.
Wow.
Yeah, and Chris was, I don't know if he was ever at any shows, but now he's in the circle, so he's on the show.
Cool.
So there's some newcomers to GSW.
Chris is such a nice dude.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. Super, super nice dude. What else?
No, I mean, he's an asshole.
No.
Fuck him.
And he's going to kill
He's
him.
the shits.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that match. He's just he's behind. I mean, when he's playing a heel, he's a heel, but as a person, he's
he's one of the
fantastic.
most welcoming people when we go to PPW by far. He's really...
As soon as you see him, you get a handshake and a hug.
Yeah.
Like that's just
Next time I see him, ask him about Five Guys.
Five Guys.
It's not going to be about the hamburgers.
Okay.
Just ask him. It's not like, oh, you fucking asshole. No, just ask him.
All right, I'm not gonna get choked out.
No, it's nothing negative.
And then we have, we talked about him a little bit earlier, Trajan Horn, Chubby Daddy, is going to be going up against Jacoby Whipple, formerly Jacoby Riddick.
Yes. He was on a tag team with Mike Skyros, who was also on the card.
I actually now own. I should have wore it tonight.
Who's also at High Tension.
I fucked up. I'll wear it next show. I actually own a Chubby Daddy T-shirt.
Oh,
now.
wow, I didn't know he had any.
I got a Galaxy of the Daddy shirt.
Okay, yeah.
And you have a sticker, too, because I remember somebody mentioning it. A pin, yeah.
I have a pin on my hat.
One of the people at the theater last night, one of the actors, or she's actually a director, co-director of the Clue thing they're doing, noticed the Daddy of the Galaxy pin.
She's like, Daddy of the Galaxy. I was like, it's a wrestling thing.
Oh, that's so stupid. That's like,
Yeah, theater. Like,
yeah.
Theater people are more open to it
Yeah.
than normal people. Then we have a three-way tag team
Yes.
match. Here we go.
I'll be in this.
Let's not bury the lead here. Let's get to the big one here. The Cash Masters, Clay Drasher and Shawn Andrews, against the Diamond City War Machines, Brad DeMeo and Eric Pinnett, and Blue and Gold, Andy Header and Matt Turner.
I'll tell you
in a
what,
three-way
man.
tag match.
Seen Brad for the first time, like meeting him at Outbreak.
He was there for.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of weight,
I don't know what the total is, but it's over 200.
but like, so when you see guys that like lose weight, they lose weight and they kind of just have like a skinny look to them. Like,
Yeah.
he put on muscle.
But
too.
yeah, he's been going to the gym. Like,
Yeah,
when
like,
he decided to.
He was
lose
standing
weight.
there, man. He's cut up.
Yeah.
He's doing very good, man. He looks fantastic. Yeah. Very, very like. So I've only talked to him obviously on the phone and just like through social media, but the dude is I didn't know this was like he's kind of backstage. He has a little more involvement with the shows and stuff. Very, very nice guy, and just kind of sit here and listen, like kind of hear him talk with the Outbreak guy staff, and kind of just shoot the shit about wrestling. And it was really cool to even be a part of that conversation. And this is a super stand-up class act guy.
And just when he was on the show plugging the tag tournament a few months ago, just the knowledge there is incredible.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
And that's not the only thing he'll be doing that night. Also that night, the Blackjack Brawl.
Yeah.
Not the old UWF show.
Yeah,
no.
no.
Herb Abrams Spirit did not come
The
back.
other team we didn't say in that thing was Blue and Gold.
Yeah, I mentioned them.
Yeah,
I thought-
we'll be wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say them for last.
This
I
is
don't think you see the tag titles.
This
so it's
is
just
my
the one.
first time seeing Blue and Gold.
Oh wow, how about that?
I've never seen Blue and Gold.
Wow, yeah.
This is my first time meeting Matt,
Oh wow, yeah.
so I'm really excited to see that as well. Another dude, very, very jacked. He got some muscle to him.
Yeah, he goes to the gym every day. At
Works
5
out really
a.m.
hard, yeah.
Before work, I couldn't do before work.
So I'm excited to finally meet Matt for the first
Yeah,
time,
there you go. You meet a lot, but you're gonna not know 50% of the people there.
which I'm excited
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Maybe even 75.
Just to run through some of the people that are going to be in the Blackjack Brawl.
It
Brad
used to be,
DeMeo.
It used to be called the Blackjack Brawl because there's 21 people. Get it?
Yeah,
You know?
blackjack.
But now I said, how many is there? He's like, we don't know.
Now, is it like a Royal Rumble type match? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to know because it's less.
No, he said we don't know. It's a lot. They're trying to get everybody that wrestled. Which
Oh, really?
which might be
It's gonna be
a
like
lot
the-
of people.
it's gonna be like the clusterfuck.
through GSW. Yeah, so it might be 40 people.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Brad DeMeo is going to be involved. These are just the announced people. Obviously,
Yeah.
we don't know everybody that's going to be involved. Squid Sterling, who we did see at the Resolution Rumble in
backbreakers
PPW.
trainee. Yeah,
He's the Backbreakers Cruiserweight Champion now, I believe. I think he just won that in their latest show. Aaron Nasty, Alexander Bateman, who was in the Resolution Rumble in PPW, Sean Silence, Aaron Roxas.
Roxas.
There we go. I don't want to mess up his name. Kit Raff is also going to be in it. Justin Glory, Tommy Boy Floyd, AJ Evers, Adam Kane, Johnny Toxic, Aaron Anthony, Victor Shine, Danny Jordan, Rod Wilder, and more.
Yeah, I'm in it. So there you go.
Okay, and Andy Header.
Yeah,
breaking news.
So there's going to be more people in it too. It's probably anyone.
Now, what is this? What is this tournament win?
It is. I think for this show, it's just for.
Yeah, this is just like this is one more time.
Rights, yeah.
So for now, I guess it's like I'm gonna guess it's just supposed to be like a reunion show.
Yeah,
and then if it goes well, it might be like a revival.
I like that shirt.
Yeah,
I'm already on a strict budget for
one.
T-shirts. I can't buy any T-shirts.
I don't even know if there's. You'd have to talk to John to see if he has any more of these.
And this is also to benefit Cub Scout Troop 316.
Yeah, 316. How about that? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the Blackjack Brawl was always like, either winner would get a title shot.
Yeah.
But Blackjack Brawl, 21 people. There's also, we had the Aggro Cup, and you got the piece of the Aggro Crag, which Undertaker apparently won today. So we had that, and ours lit up and everything. So that was cool. It was like a 6-way ladder match. You had to crawl and get the. So they had different unique events. There was like a turkey bowl thing for Thanksgiving. So.
Wasn't the Great American Turkey Hunt? Jake the Milkman.
Was this a company that one of your start companies that you started off like back in the day?
No, I think we were like going from like I don't know, probably like 2012. You have to ask John to like 2017.
And you would go to Jersey for it?
Yeah, I did for a couple. Yeah,
Wow.
There was one that was way out one time. It was like out and then up, and it was at some college. And I wrestled
Pine Barons.
What was his name? Mark. Oh, I forget. Anyway,
Calloway.
No, it wasn't Mark Calloway. I forget his name. He retired, but yeah, I went to a couple shows there. So that's why it was Garden State Wrestling.
Yeah,
was GSW, and then when they moved it to Pennsylvania, it was Grand Slam Wrestling. So
I'm pumped. I'm excited to see like just new faces. Another company I really want to get a show out to, but the problem is I think next show that they're doing is the same night as PPW. So remember when we were talking, you had me confused. You were saying that there's an Outbreak and PPW show happening the same night.
Yes, there is.
There's not.
Yes, there is.
Which one?
That's in April.
The April show.
Yep.
I double checked it. So the April show, Atomic and PPW are going the same night.
No. Atomic is the Friday.
Okay. I
check the dates real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to do this real fast.
Tomorrow is the Atomic Championship Wrestling at Club Reverb in Reading. Yep. So, and then obviously GSW. So the next show for PPW is March.
March 20...
That's the last call show.
Yeah.
The Super Show is April 18th, which is also the day of Outbreak in Hamburg.
So on April 18th is Autism Awareness.
Yes, in Hamburg. That's Outbreak.
Okay.
April 18th is also PPW Super Show. For those who, and I think
last call
ACW is the
last
17th.
call is March 21st.
Yes. Type in Super Show.
Super Show is April 18th.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Andy is correct.
And ACW is the 17th, I believe.
Okay.
So that's a Friday night at Club Reverb because Reverb only wants.
And you're wrestling in both shows.
I'm gonna try to, yeah.
You possibly could be in two title matches that night.
Well, not that night, no, because the title match for Outbreak is May because Cortez Castro will not be at the April show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
because he's in the ECWA Super 8.
All right.
Yeah, so
they still do that?
Yeah. But Kentner doesn't run it, and it's I think it's 8 guys or 10 guys.
It used to always be 8.
Well, I love Outbreak to death.
There must be 8.
I love Outbreak to death, but I will be at the.
Yeah.
There's no way I can do both.
Yeah, no, yeah. And I really don't want to, but
I work with 3 other like 2 other podcast teams to help make. So if I don't show up, some of the equipment's not there, and we don't get as good as content. So I definitely gotta.
I gotta see. I don't know what the plans are for Outbreak for me. So if they're not like nothing major, and they don't really need me, but like I was thinking to go there first and then come up to the PPW.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
Cool.
I'd rather not do just.
Yeah, but I want to go see an Atomic show. The problem is they're mostly on Friday nights.
Yeah, he has some Saturdays coming now.
I don't get off at work until 8:00 at night
on
Friday, and we do a show,
and then to drive an hour down.
Yeah, but I really want to go see Atomic. I heard nothing but good things.
There's one. He got 2 new locations. One Newmanstown, which is right below Wilmersdorf, which is terribly local. So and 25 minutes west of Reading. But it's only for us. It's like 45 minutes, 50 minutes. It's just going down 183, 419, boop. And then Ephrata, he's going to have a show at the Ephrata Community Center. I believe that one's in... I don't know. There's one that I can't make because I think they're running one day that PPW, but it's too far. I can't do both.
Yeah, and then I want to go see a Backbreaker show.
Yeah.
What was the other one that was up in the Wilkes-Barre area?
True Wrestling.
Yeah,
so that's where we'll be going for GSW.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then May 2nd, coming up is going to be High Tension Inception.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
So it's a brand new company. You're going to see the Boogeyman, Joey Ryan, and I think is it Samu Jr.
Alpha Jr.
Alpha Jr.
Yeah, Alpha Jr.
Alpha Jr.
Yeah. So
Tickets.
that is Alpha's son.
Tickets are on sale right now at eventbrite.com. You go and just type in High Tension Wrestling. You can go check them out on Facebook.
At the Family Grand Prix in Leesport, PA.
Andy at Ozzy's Fun Complex.
Oh, I'm calling it the old name. My God,
Yeah.
that's what the old name was. Well,
Yeah.
if you know the old name, you'll
Yep.
let's go to the same
Andy
place.
will be in action as in tag team.
Yes.
And Brian will be in action at,
What?
at commentary.
Oh, okay, good.
They did make an announcement for commentary.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a 3-man booth.
All right.
It's going to be you. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the other guy's name.
Rob something?
I believe so, yeah.
And Paul Bow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That'd
You're
be
going to
cool.
work with the legendary.
Yeah, I get to
Paul
work with the
Bow.
Bob Costas of Northeast
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
I
No
love it.
pressure.
Bob Costas.
And then I guess I'll be doing the pre-show, post-show.
Oh, cool.
Not quite sure who's all on that stable yet.
Oh, okay. They didn't announce or
Yeah, it wasn't. There was no official announcements of what's going on.
One thing I'm afraid they keep on announcing more and more people. I'm like, I hope you don't have all these people on the first show.
No, I think the first show is booked.
Okay.
The people, and I think there's going to be people who make appearances.
Okay, which is all right because like, if you have a show that's over 10 matches, too much.
Yeah.
Too much. So, I mean, and they're just starting. So, I mean, maybe they're like, we could do 15 matches. No, please don't. But I don't know. But like, as long as they say, hey, these people are on the roster, that's okay. But when you have 45 guys in the first show, I mean, you have a battle royal, too much.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't know how they're working it. So
Same here.
I can't
so
say.
I'll learn more about that. I think they just announced someone who's just going to be at the show. And
Yeah,
kind of-
Eddie
yeah.
McQueen.
Yeah. I don't know anything.
I
about
never
him.
met him. I only know him through Facebook, really.
He said he has a lot of championships at other promotions. So.
Yeah. He wrestles mainly in New York.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right.
And Mike Skyros, who will be at GSW. They announced him, too.
Cool. So we knocked the local stuff out of the way. Mm-hmm. Today was a show. We'll just say a show.
A super showdown.
A super showdown. And that show started off with the Viking Raiders
I was going to
versus
say they
the
dusted
OC.
off Mansoor.
That was like the pre-show match,
Yeah.
the OC and the
So I
Viking
actually
Raiders.
seen a clip of that on Facebook when I was just scrolling through of Hanson doing his thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, the big guy that does the cartwheel and stuff. And I was like, wow, he's kicking ass. But it was like one.
Luke
clip.
Hanger, by the way, is the other announcer besides me.
Okay,
and
thank
Paul.
you.
Oh, so it wasn't Rob.
Yeah.
I know it's a
Call him Rob anyway. Rob, what do you think of this match?
What do you
Who the
think
hell's
of that,
Rob?
Rob? I'm terrible with names, so if I mispronounce names, I do apologize. That's just my weird quirk. I just suck at fucking names.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Are they the Viking Raiders names?
No, just how I didn't get to get other commentator guys' names.
Oh.
I'm going to be working with him, and I didn't know it. So.
Yeah. So that match got a C+ so far. Anything stood out in that pre-show?
I was kind of. Well, I didn't really get my undivided attention watching this. Nothing really stood out to me. Mm-hmm. It was a good match. The Viking Raiders are really good. OC are pretty good.
Now, how do you pronounce this trophy? The Tukwe?
Can I see it?
Tukwe?
I would say Tuwaik.
All right, we'll go with that. The trophy gauntlet match.
The Aggro Crag.
Yeah, so the Aggro Crag. The first two competitors in the gauntlet were R-Truth and Lashley. And then it went to...
Yeah, this was interesting.
An upset elimination over Bobby Lashley. So
Yeah.
R-Truth gets a win.
Yep. Keep going.
And then Andrade comes out. Mm-hmm. Which,
So he's back.
He's back, yeah.
unless sanctions don't matter in another country.
I know he's back. I think the 30 days are up.
Okay.
What a first day back.
And R-Truth ends
He's
up...
like, could it be one more day so I don't have to go over?
R-Truth pins him.
Yep,
Wow.
R-Truth made
Go
Andrade.
for Truth. Give Truth a push.
And then Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan comes out.
And then
there's a
what
match.
happened?
Truth manages to overcome the Redwood.
He beat Eric Rowan.
He beats Eric Rowan.
And then we had
AJ Styles.
Truth, a former NWA World Champion.
the first black
the
in the
first
world
black NWA. Which, yeah. Styles comes down, and the Phenomenal One took him out very quickly.
Yeah, that was the end of R-Truth.
Yep.
Man, what a showing for
maybe,
Truth.
just maybe, we have tomorrow night. John Cena comes out, and R-Truth can make that challenge.
He get in, fight his childhood hero.
Problem is he's on Raw. That's the only problem.
Fuck it.
It's Mania.
That's true.
It's Mania.
But what happened after this was Rey Mysterio was supposed to be the next guy out. And I'm hoping that they didn't film this in Saudi Arabia because they could have saved Rey the flight. They showed the backstage, like Ray's music hits, and they show backstage like that he's getting jumped by Gallows and Anderson.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Well, because they're trying to help AJ win the match.
Oh, okay.
So he's the last guy, supposedly the last guy. And so they lay him out in the back, and they show AJ like gloating and everything, and then they cut back to backstage, and you just see somebody off camera just beating up Gallows and Anderson. They just fly in the shot like they just got hit. And then you just see somebody in a long black coat walk through.
Sting.
You can't see his face. And then the gong hits.
So it was a cool setup, I guess.
Yeah. It was a cool setup until they got in the ring, and Undertaker
Shouldn't wrestle anymore.
looked very old.
Yeah.
He looked very
I
old.
heard the choke slam was very shitty.
Yes.
AJ was flailing a lot, too. I think that didn't help. He didn't really post up, maybe help the old guy out a little bit.
I'm one of the people. I don't need to see Undertaker wrestle ever again.
I don't want to. I think
Just retire and
we talked
hey,
about
you had
it.
a great career.
We're gonna have a lot to talk about once we get through this card.
Yeah.
But we can start with this one. We talked about like. Well, let's wait because I
So
think
choke slam. Undertaker
Yeah.
wins the aggro crag. He is the cup of whatever.
It's a yellow, yeah.
The glowing yellow radioactive
one more
coronavirus
thing
trophy.
for Undertaker to put on his shelf, I guess. Then we have the New Day versus Miz and John Morrison.
The thing I loved about this match is the New Day's gear had rainbows all over it in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but they don't know nothing about
Yeah, that's true.
Love it. But weird thing here. New champions.
Yeah,
Really?
so yeah, Kofi. It's Kofi against, I believe, Miz, and Morrison's out of the ring, hits Kofi in the ribs with a chair. Miz rolls Kofi up, pulls the tights, and gets the 3. Miz and
Wow.
Morrison are the new tag champs.
Humberto versus Angel Garza. How was that match?
I didn't get this. It was good from what I saw. I didn't get to really see a lot of it. I was doing other things while I was trying to watch this, so it was a little tough to pay full attention. But
Yeah.
from what I saw, it was very crisp, very good looking. I don't even know who won.
I'm sure it wasn't a bad match. There's a lot of matches for this. It was 4 hours, I think. Which
It was like 3.5.
No.
Garza stole the win.
Garza stole a win? Okay. I love Angel Garza.
Street Profits versus Seth and Murphy.
Yeah, we lost his first name.
Champs retained.
I'm sure it was okay.
Yeah, it was solid.
Yeah.
Then we got Mansoor
Yeah, they dusted him off, like I said.
versus Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. Mansoor, we were like, I even had to look him up on Cage Match, which is like IMDb for wrestling. And so, yeah, it's basically like he is wrestling on these Saudi shows as a hugely pushed star. But other than that, he's wrestling dark matches before NXT. Since the last Saudi show, he had one match on 205 Live. He beat Brian Kendrick. He had a match on Evolve. He beat AR Fox.
Yeah, so he's appeared on television for WWE once.
He's not bad. I don't know why they don't push him more. He's pretty good.
But it's like...
Because when you scroll by him, it looks exactly like Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Maybe. I also wonder if it's a thing where if they push him or if they put him on TV, they have to protect him because the Saudis might get upset if he loses a lot.
Maybe.
That may be a
but
thing.
Wouldn't you notice, hey, this guy only wrestles the shows that are here and he always wins.
Then again, maybe
Are they pandering to me?
I don't
Yeah.
think they care about
They
being
don't
paid
care.
attention.
I guess
They
not.
are so out of the loop with some of this stuff that the first time they did that, the Greatest Royal Rumble, they had a guy in there doing a sumo gimmick because
They
wanted
wanted Yokozuna.
They wanted Yokozuna, and he'd been dead for 15 years. And
Yeah, they
didn't even know.
requested him an Ultimate Warrior, and they were both dead. That's like...
So Mansoor gets the win. And
Good
then
for Mansoor. See you next Super Show. Mansoor.
I'm sure he's okay, but there's a little bit of a. He did a really cool looking DDT, but then he hit a moonsault for the pin. It looks like Ziggler might have caught a knee to the gut.
Oh.
really.
Yeah, he kind of undershot the moonsault a little bit.
Then we had the match of the century: Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet.
What was the time on that? Green Lantern fan? Which Green Lantern fan?
That was like a minute.
It's like
long.
90 seconds, like that, 91 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
And I don't think Ricochet got a single offensive move in.
Why even have the match? you know?
He
Like,
threw
what?
a drop kick and it got swatted away. It said,
Yeah.
and then it went quickly into a S5
Suplex City F5.
Suplex City. Yep. And
Like, hey,
Thank you for playing.
Good for him getting money. But I mean, I don't know.
Like, why wouldn't you put Ricochet in that gauntlet? And if you're going to have that kind of a quick match, just put Eric Rowan in with Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least two big guys.
Yeah.
and Lesnar stomps on his cage.
Yeah.
King Corbin versus Roman Reigns.
Ugh, enough.
Cage match.
Are those people? Was it a cage match?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then
It was weird, though, because Roman brought out the chain and I guess locked it himself, and then he had the key. It was a weird...
Well, that's how you do in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And
That's how you lock your woman up when she's
Roman
driving
wins.
a car.
Bailey versus Naomi.
For the SmackDown
Fully
Women's
clothed.
title. Yeah, they were wearing the full body things and the T-shirt over it.
Too bad Bailey didn't have a nice pair of jeans on.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Well, the T-shirts were very long too. It kind of.
Oh yeah, like last time. Yeah.
And Bailey wins.
They actually used the T-shirt in it, like she tied Naomi up in her T-shirt, and then kind of like rolled her up for the pin. Yeah, or it might have been a submission. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was a pin.
Yep, she retains and wins. You said there was a little bit of a weird thing with Bailey at the end there.
Yeah, well, she kind of used the T-shirt. That she like tucked Naomi's legs in the T-shirt to kind of like get her stuck. And then I think that kind of, I don't know if that led to the finish or not. Again, I didn't have my full attention on the match.
Yeah.
But I know they use a T-shirt like it's kind of like a thing to like trap her or something. The thing I was a little worried about is Bailey was kind of jaw jacking with some of the fans, like trying to heal up a little bit. I'm like, the people sitting really close to the ringside there are like Saudi high level
Yeah,
people.
they'll just have you killed.
Yeah.
And like a woman is trying to get heel. I'm like, oh boy, oh.
Yeah, the plane will get stopped again.
Yeah.
Let's get stopped on the runway for mechanical issues. And then we had Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg. Now, what was the Lana Lashley thing? Oh yeah, with R-Truth.
Lana
came out in a full garb. Like,
Yeah, and then I don't think she came to the ring.
Robe.
I think she would have just been at the entrance and then went to the back.
Then we have
That's worth a flight over for.
Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg.
For the Universal
Fiend, yeah.
title.
The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg.
So I can basically give you a move for move rundown of this match.
Sure, let's hear it.
Because it was only about 3 minutes long.
That's normal Goldberg match.
So, right at the very beginning, Goldberg hits a spear, and then Bray catches, or the Fiend catches him with the mandible claw, but Goldberg powers out. Goldberg hits 2 more spears and gets a 2. Oh no, the first spear he got a 1 count. Then he hits 2 more spears and he gets a 2 count. I think there may have been another spear. I don't remember. I said move for move. Maybe I can't do it. I think there might have been a 4th spear somewhere along the way. And Bray got him the mandible claw again. And Goldberg's like either like spit something out, like it made it look like he spit out a tooth or something, or he was like throwing up, but something kind of flew out of his mouth. And so he's down, but he starts standing up while Bray still has a mandible claw on. He starts throwing knees to the stomach.
And the jackhammer.
And then, jackhammer.
If you want to call it that. It was a suplex.
Yeah, Bray. It seemed like Bray was kind of pulling away as Goldberg was trying to lift him up. I don't know if it was like just out of position or a protest or what it was. But jackhammer.
If I was Bray, I would be protesting.
Jackhammer 1, 2, 3. Goldberg is once again your Universal Champion. And then
champion. Like I said, win it in Saudi Arabia, lose it in Saudi Arabia.
3 out of the last 6 title changes to that title have been in Saudi Arabia. Brock won it after Roman had to vacate it.
Yeah.
And then the Seth Brock traded it outside of Saudi. And then, Bray and the last 2 were in Saudi.
Yuck.
But then at the very end, Goldberg is standing on the turnbuckle celebrating. Behind him, Bray gets up, kind of not selling the jackhammer. And you think he's going to attack him or something, then the lights go out and they play that shrieky music. And then the lights come back on and Bray's gone.
All right. So, Brian, I want to give Brian credit for the one thing he put in the chat that calmed me down a little bit. Brian said, now listen, I understand that Bray Wyatt cannot be undefeated. I understand that he can lose. I understand that he doesn't need the title. And I agree to all of that. So maybe this is more, Bray becomes more of a novelty act and we can get,
an attraction. A guy who doesn't need the title.
I'm cool with that. I have no problem with that. But to lose it to Goldberg just puts a weird taste in my mouth.
Once Vince heard that Goldberg spiked the ratings,
it's not what I would have done. It's definitely not what I would have done. I'm not as mad about it as everybody seems to be.
I just don't like Goldberg.
I never liked Goldberg.
No,
I'm not the biggest fan. I don't hate him. I mean, I'm wearing the pin. I think he's his generation's Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, he's the Ultimate Warrior.
But I think it has less to do with even the ratings. Maybe it is because maybe they're gonna have.
I think it 100% comes. If I'm stealing your thunder here, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
It 100% comes down to their saving Roman Reigns.
Yes,
because
exactly
if Roman Reigns steps in into Tampa versus the Fiend, the crowd is going to be so pro Fiend that when Roman wins, he's going to get booed out of the building again at a Mania. And that's not the image they want on Fox.
Yeah. The other thing people are thinking is that maybe this WrestleMania, there might be an 11th hour deal where it's not on the network. It's on ESPN Plus. and you might have to pay $40, $50, $60, $65 on top of a $5 ESPN Plus subscription to get WrestleMania. And if that's the case,
I heard a lot. I think.
I think they might be thinking, I don't know if people are going to buy it for Roman versus Bray Wyatt, but they might buy it for Roman Reigns versus Goldberg.
I wouldn't, but
I wouldn't buy it for either. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to see it. I kind of would rather see Roman versus Goldberg than Roman versus The Fiend.
I'd rather Roman Fiend because at least if someone's going to beat The Fiend, it's someone that we see on TV every week.
Yeah,
I don't really. That doesn't bother me. Like we don't see. We don't see Bray wrestle every week either.
I don't want to see the champion every single week because then it's kind of.
I think it means more.
Seth Rollins or Seth.
So
like we grew up with Hogan, and you never, unless it was like Saturday Night's Main Event, you never saw Hogan defend the title on TV.
Yeah.
I can get behind that because when Seth Rollins is a defending champion, we see it every week. I'm over Seth Rollins.
Yeah, you're like, please just
now,
take a week off.
The thing, like, because you did do a lot of work building Bray up as an unstoppable monster, and you had, I think, and this is just my opinion, you did have a guy who was glaring, obvious, picture perfect fit to be the guy to knock him off, and that was Aleister Black. I would have loved to have seen him be the guy that finally knocked Bray off, but that's obviously not what they were doing. They wanted to go with an established guy to go to WrestleMania.
It's just crazy to be like, if they
match.
literally go back to Bray, just puts awesome work in, just sell a story and get everything over for the story and working a story, and then the payoff is we get the Fiend versus this guy at the pay-per-view, and the Fiend just loses every pay-per-view again.
Yeah.
It's right back to he was Bray Wyatt again, and it's pointless.
I think that's being overly reactionary, though. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. I strongly feel, I don't know for sure, I strongly feel that Bray's beating John Cena at WrestleMania. John Cena's not even a part-timer. He's going to be like a Rock guy where he maybe wrestles once a year. He's not going to lose anything by losing to Bray Wyatt.
Unless they do John Cena Goldberg.
They could do John Cena Goldberg at SummerSlam.
That's a little interesting.
What I would do is, like, just putting my fantasy booking hat on, I would have Bray Wyatt beat John Cena, and then I would have him beat Goldberg either at the next Saudi Arabia show or at SummerSlam.
Oh, okay.
That way you rehabilitate Bray Wyatt, he gets his win back, and you still got, for whatever reason, you really think that Roman Reigns and Goldberg is this dream match is going to sell pay-per-views.
Here's what I think is probably going to go down. Does Roman Reigns beat Goldberg clean?
Yes.
I would say yeah.
Or do you have the lights go off?
Oh, Fiend.
Fiend hits. The ref doesn't see it.
No, only because he'll probably be involved in something else.
Yeah,
I would think.
If you're doing that, you're putting the screws to Roman because you're already going to have problems with people resenting Roman being the champion, even though he hasn't been champion in over a year, even though he hasn't really had the longest title reign I think he had was like 4 months.
Yeah.
Bray's title reign was as long as Roman's longest title reign. And people act like Roman's always a champion. No, that's Seth.
Yeah.
Or Brock.
Yeah.
But
it's just no one wants him as the champion.
Yeah, but
and it's like, how many times do we have to see him win at WrestleMania? Like,
but he's only won at WrestleMania once.
Really? Oh yeah, because he lost
just when he beat Triple H. Yeah. That was it. Other times Seth Rollins cashed in. He lost to Brock the one year. Last year he wrestled Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seth Rollins has won the world title at WrestleMania more than Roman has.
Last year, that was a completely
honestly
match.
Roman doesn't bother me being champion as much as it does Seth Rollins.
It's still that lingering anger over him winning the Royal Rumble without Daniel Bryan. That's really what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know
him winning Seth Rollins as champion bothers me. I don't think he's entertaining.
He's so annoying.
He's super. Listen, I'm not saying he's not
so talented in the ring.
Yeah, not saying he's
very
not
good
talented.
wrestler, but just when he talks, like.
So it seems like every single time wherever Punk was and then left, Seth has been the guy to fill that shoes of the CM Punk. And it just
he just doesn't have anywhere near the charisma of CM Punk.
And he has zero charisma.
He's great in the ring though, but like the charisma, he's not CM Punk. But not many people are, so you can't really fault him for that.
Yeah, so I don't know.
There's people out there like Goldberg as champion, and this will keep happening as long as the ratings are good, and as long as Goldberg wants to do it.
We'll see what happens.
He'll be a 6-time champion
because it is a shitstorm on the internet.
Yeah,
a lot of people are angry.
Well, hey, AEW
people are mad OTI.
Watch AEW, watch NWA, watch
There's
Japan.
so many
if you're
things
taking a break
there.
for a little bit.
I was one of the. I will 100% eat my words on this, but I was one guy who was so against Brock Lesnar coming down at Money in the Bank and winning that. And
I don't like that.
And I hated it, but I think the long haul of this Brock Lesnar thing has been genius, because when he shows up, he has great matches, unless they're fucking stupid squash matches like Ricochet and Kofi.
Right. Yeah.
But when they actually let him go, and he goes against a Daniel Bryan, and he goes against Seth Rollins, and he goes against Roman,
and I'm sure the match against Drew will be good.
Yeah. I think I don't know, because big guy versus big guy. I'm interested to see how that works, because Brock does better when the guy's tinier than him.
Drew can wrestle like a smaller guy, though.
Yeah.
He's not going to do flips and stuff like that, but Drew can wrestle.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope it's good.
That's where I'm interested to see how the styles clash. Styles clash. Him and Styles was fantastic. Him and Daniel Bryan was fantastic. Balor was fantastic.
He does really well against small guys who can really move.
So I'm interested. When he's there, he sells. He does great. He does great work. And it just gets it works. And I hate it that he's not there. But I think he's more of a. I will take Roman Reigns. I will take Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar as that champion any day over the week than fucking Bill Goldberg.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm fine with, just because he's, for one thing, he's a transition champion. It's like when he was the champion.
I hope the transition.
It's like when he beat Kevin Owens. He's a transition guy.
Yeah, and that bothered me. Because Kevin Owens he deserved to be the champion.
Or does it lose it to John Cena so John Cena can get his 18th championship?
That's another thing too. Is John Cena going to be the guy that he's going to walk out of Mania with the belt, or
you never know,
or is he going to come to SmackDown and challenge Goldberg and get the belt there?
Well, they're already doing an Elimination Chamber. They already have it booked and everything, where it's all SmackDown guys, and it's for a shot at the Universal title. In it. And Roman's in it. Yes, yeah. Roman, Daniel Bryan. I forget who else is in it.
So maybe John Cena takes the title off of Goldberg.
John Cena's not winning the title at WrestleMania. I don't think he is.
I don't know, man.
I think he's wrestling Bray.
I really want to be surprised, and everything we already
be surprised by how stupid it will be.
Yeah, it's going to be. We already this is the thing that bothers me going into Mania is you want me to pay. You want to get it off the network, and you want me to drop $60
we'll
possibly.
Yeah, that's.
And I can already tell you who's winning 90% of your
Plus
matches.
Matches you don't want to see.
Yeah,
you don't want to see for free.
Yeah.
So,
is there a match you're most interested in seeing? I'm for me, it might literally be Charlotte and Rhea.
Yeah, I want to see that. And there's if tag match.
If that rumored match happens with the 4-way with Andrade and
all the Mexican guys,
Andrade, Ray
for the U.S. title,
Andrade,
put all the Mexicans in there. God damn it!
That'll be a great match, though. It's not a match I want to pay $60 for. No, but it'll be a great match.
So you have Roman Goldberg. You have Bray, let's say Bray Cena.
Yeah, Undertaker and AJ.
Undertaker, AJ. Becky versus Baszler.
Shane, I'd like to see that.
Is there any doubt in your mind that she goes over?
I don't know.
I could see that going either way.
Yeah, I don't know where they're.
Logic would tell you Shayna gets the win because they want Becky to chase because she's been champion for a year. It's getting a little stale. But you never know.
But does she win and then Ronda comes out and she's like, "I'm back, bitch. Now I'm getting my one-on-one."
I don't think we see Ronda until next WrestleMania. I think for the LA WrestleMania.
She having a kid or what?
No, she's not. I don't think she's pregnant yet.
She's just been playing video games on the internet.
Yeah, playing Pokemon. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Apparently she loves what she's doing right now. She's happy. But I think they're going to make next year. It's almost like this is a whole.
Would you rather Ronda come back and try to avenge the Becky loss, or would you rather come back and go after Baszler?
Becky.
I think her and Baszler would be a fantastic match.
I'm sure they'd get there eventually.
Yeah, maybe. And they're good friends, and Ronda would give her a ton, and it would be a good match. They would know how to work in MMA. But the money's in Ronda and Becky, not Ronda and Shayna.
I agree.
And I think you might see that, but I think you might see that in WrestleMania 2021. Does Rhea
go over on Charlotte?
I think so.
Yeah, I would say so.
Especially because Charlotte main evented NXT this week, and their ratings were down. That's not going to help Charlotte's stock overall. Yeah. I mean, she's always going to have a spot. She's going to be a high-level person just because of who she is and how talented she is. But I think people might be a little bit disappointed that NXT didn't do better. This is the first week ever that AEW beat them in every demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but AEW right now is on the string of hot shows, too.
And so it's a go-home show.
I watched those last 3 shows. You got to watch this one. It's good.
100%. They did a very good job on their go-home show. Mm-hmm. Trying to think what else we kind of covered in the chat that was fun topics when we talked about. The chat was blown up today, man.
Yeah.
I wish everyone that was in the chat was at the table right now because I think it would have been
it would have been
a fun show.
Yeah.
There would have been things flying across the room.
Yeah. Yeah, I even said to Tyler, the king of wrestling, can't argue with you. No, we didn't get heated, but we were having fun.
And you were on the same side, which is great because you're the two that were the most mad about Goldberg winning.
I was so upset about it.
I thought it would happen. I said to one guy at Boyers today, I was like,
You
hey,
posted it, and I was like, "Is this a fucking fake picture?" And you're like,
Nitro.
And you're like, "Nope, this is where the big boys play WCW." I was like, "Did they legit?"
I was trolling so hard today.
you
It was
hammed
great.
it up.
What
Yeah,
if
you
Sting
ran-
comes back and Sting wins the belt?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's give all the old guys the belt. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
Sting versus Undertaker.
Let's
make
get
it
Johnny
happen.
B. Bad in there.
Yeah. Who else can we bring back?
All right, so going with that,
Bruno's still alive, right?
he's not.
Oh, no, he died. That's right. Yeah.
We had if you want to pull it up, we can go over it right now.
Yeah.
So we have Revolution. You already filled your card out,
yes,
right?
I did earlier.
All right. So we're going to go by Pro Wrestling Scorecard. So if you go on ProWrestlingScorecards.com, you can download the Revolution card right now
And make your predictions.
If you are digital, then you have 43 hours, 48 minutes, and 33 seconds.
That's way too much pressure.
Yeah.
I can't do
Right
it.
now. We're going to go through our digital card. The digital will be available to everyone after WrestleMania, which we talked about.
Oh, that's when
Yeah.
it's open to everyone in
Yep.
the world.
So,
Okay.
so
That's cool.
if you can go download your card, print it out for free, and play along with us, and send us your cards. If you want us to go over your cards and see where you rank with us and your points, send us your cards and take a picture before the show. Don't pull no shady shit. And-
I predicted it perfect.
I nailed it. So last show we did pretty much the entire podcast did really well. We had 3 in the top 10. I finished third.
Yeah.
Actually, I finished second because it was a 2-way tie for first and.
Oh, wow.
That would make you third still.
Yeah.
1-1-3. That's all that was.
All right.
Because
I
someone
finished
was
second.
second.
Yeah. Yeah, I did really well, and Tyler won it. So we have the first match here on the card: Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara.
I say Darby Allin wins.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Darby is, and I think he wins by pin.
Yep. I said pinfall. And then what was the
Aerial moves?
moves? I think I put 10.
10. I'm gonna go.
And then
4.
And then the next one was what? Does the skateboard
Does Alan miss a coffin drop?
Oh, I
say-
put yes.
I say
Because
no.
he usually does.
I think he finishes the match.
Well, they mean he could miss it halfway through, you know.
yeah.
He doesn't have, that doesn't have to be the ending of the
Yeah,
match.
that's usually not an ending match because he does it on the apron a lot.
Yeah, because a lot of times
Yeah.
he does misses. I said yes. Like, remember one time I went through a garbage can, one time I went through
The Cracker Barrel thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's been missing it so much. I think he hits it. Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes.
I put Jake Hager for that
Yeah.
one.
I
I
definitely
think he needs to win
Jake
more,
Hager.
especially his first match in AEW.
How do you think it ends? Do pin, submission? I would go pin.
I don't know if he had it. I think he had the ankle lock, didn't he? But I
Yeah,
put
he
pin.
would always use the
Or does it
ankle
go to
lock in
judge's
WWE.
decision?
Oh yeah, I liked how they added that now. I put pin.
Match over 10 minutes?
I said
no.
Yeah, I think I said
Outside
no.
interference?
I said no to that
No.
too.
I think
don't see anyone.
Jake. I don't think he needs it.
No, I think this is being set up to have Jake win clean.
Pac versus Orange Cassidy. I think Pac has to win.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
said.
think he wins by pin. Match over
Maybe
10 minutes.
brutalizer though the submission.
Match over 10 minutes. Yeah. You know
It
what?
might. They might do a lot
I'm
of.
going to say.
Gaga in the
I'm going to say
beginning.
he wins by. Would it be submission or other? Because if he passes out,
I think they count that as submission
Yeah, I
because
think
didn't
they
that
count
happen with
that
Kenny?
submission.
yeah. Match over 10 minutes. I'm going to say yes.
I think I said yes too.
Time with sunglasses on.
I said 2 minutes.
I put
And that
3.
might be a little. Yeah.
I was going to say 3, but
He
I'm
could
kind of.
do- he
I'm
could
going
do
to do
pretty
2.
good with it.
I'm going to do 2 minutes. Dark Order versus SoCal Uncensored.
Yeah.
I'm going SoCal.
I said Dark Order just because the Exalted one's coming, so they have to get some steam.
Yeah, I think they still need to put some juice on the Dark
Yeah,
Order.
and it is Evil Uno and Grayson versus Kazarian and
Sky and
Actually, I think
yeah.
what might happen here, just to kind of build some tension, maybe a little bit of like botched interference where Daniels accidentally helps the Dark Order win.
they got to make it look like he's joining, but then no, he's
Yeah.
not joining.
I'm
What-
still going with SoCal. I don't
and
want
what's
to.
the
but
next one? Who pin?
fall type pin.
Yeah, who fall
makes,
type, who gets-
makes the fall? I'm going to say
I had Evil Uno on Kazarian.
I
I'm
have
gonna
Stu
say
Grayson on Kazarian.
I'm going to say Sky gets it over Stu Grayson. Does the Exalted one revealed? I say no.
Yeah,
I say
said
no.
no.
I don't think his contract's up until the next day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the Exalted one. Maybe the next pay-per-view.
MJF versus Cody.
I pick MJF because this will continue.
Yeah, it's one of those feud must continue things, isn't it? I mean, you would think Cody, but
or
if
if
you're
they-
booking old school,
Yeah.
then it would be MJF.
I
If
think
they
this-
break it away and then
I think
somehow
this is- I
Cody
think
wins
this
the
is where
mid-card
Ar-
title
I
and they
think
come
this
back
is where
together.
Arn,
I don't know if he turns yet because it might
Match
be a little
time.
early. I said over. Whatever
You want me
it said.
over. I think Cody's going to win this.
I said 15 minutes. So is this one where you guessed the match time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said
I'm going to go
15.
25 minutes. Near falls, I'm going to go 4.
Yeah, I had something like 4 or
Wrestler
5.
bleeds. It's Cody.
Yeah, I said yeah.
Tag team match. We have Pac and Paige versus the Young Bucks.
Kenny.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Omega and Paige versus the Young Bucks. I'm going Bucks.
I said the Young Bucks.
Yeah,
as
I think
well.
the Bucks
I
win it.
think Bucks win by pin. I think Matt pins.
I had Matt Penn and Kenny.
Yep.
Yeah. Ah, man.
I think we get the
Just Hangman leaves.
I think we get the Strike Force Brainbusters
Yeah.
WrestleMania 5 thing where Hangman just walks out.
He hits Kenny with the buckshot ladder and then just leaves.
Man, I
But
want.
you never know.
I think
I could see him winning too. I
was
wouldn't be
saying
surprised.
Hangman does the thing again where he just refuses to tag in,
Okay.
and then he takes the fall, and Kenny like. What's
Oh well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hangman Page. Aerial moves. I'm gonna say.
I think I put 12 for that match.
I'm gonna
They
go
all do it.
All of them.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go 6.
They all do.
Beer drank during match. Yes.
I said yes to that too.
Oh, is it during match or does he do it after? I'm gonna say during.
I think he walks out and just starts drinking a beer.
He might do something cool like suicide dive and go up like.
All right. Women's match. Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander. I think Nyla keeps it. She has
Yeah,
it.
there's no way.
By pin. Match over 15 minutes.
I said no. I'm probably about 10.
Near falls.
No, I think it's 4 or 5.
I'll say 1. I think this
I
is
think
going to be
3.
Yeah.
I think it's
Aerial
gonna be low.
moves. I'll say 3.
I think I put 4 because Nyla does her thing, her knee off the top,
Yeah.
and then Statlander does some stuff.
Then the AEW World Championship. I think Chris Jericho retains.
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
I think he wins by. Ooh,
Pin Judas Effect.
Yeah, Judas Effect. They really wouldn't get that over.
I mean,
as,
maybe he could do Judas Effect and then put him in the
near
walls.
falls. I'm going to say
Or
4.
Lion Tamer, I guess it's called again.
Finishers. I think we're going to see. I'll pick 4.
I said 3, I think.
I'll say interference most definitely.
And I said yes to that.
So the first time ever on this AEW card, unscheduled appearances.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put anything in that yet. I'm going to have to think that over.
So I
Definitely not
really
Adam
thought
Bomb.
Christopher Daniels, but if
He's
they have him
scheduled.
coming out with
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
way-
but they do a good thing online now. If you put someone that they have as a scheduled, it comes up red and you can't
Yeah,
select
you
it.
can't pick it.
So I said Jeff Cobb, but he's scheduled technically. So I'm like, oh, so you can't say Jeff Cobb because he's in the scheduled. So I said Britt Baker.
Raven. I'm putting
Raven.
Raven.
Hey,
I think they're going to
yeah.
tease us. Like I think they're going to do a lot of teases for Exalted.
And the guy that they announced that they signed on Dynamite, Lance Archer, I put him down.
I'll steal that one off
That's
you.
a good one, yeah.
And then I put,
I have one I just thought of.
I don't know, I didn't put Riho.
Dr. Britt Baker.
I put the Butcher and the Blade. I said that's an easy one. That's 2 points. And then I had Britt, Lance Archer, Butcher and Blade, and Joey Janela because he hasn't been on TV for like a couple weeks. You know, I mean, you go Sean Spears. He's been floating around. Sonny Kiss. QT Marshall. He might appear. Come out.
I don't think
Cody.
we're getting Butcher Blade.
They might come out to beat someone up or something, or you never know. I would say Britt
Riho.
comes out. Yeah, Riho.
Yeah, I'm putting Rio. I'm putting Britt Baker. I'm putting Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
DDP.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably see DDP. You put Glacier because Glacier is part of the Nightmare family.
Does Pharaoh count? Can you put in Pharaoh?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Do dogs count?
I would not put Matt Hardy. So if you listen to this, do not put Matt Hardy because he can't do it until Sunday.
Or can he?
Yeah, what if I put that out?
That's like there's betting markets or like people running for president. Like you can bet on this person either winning or not, or becoming president in 2020. One of the people on there is this Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Okay, yeah, she's a comic book.
And people were betting on her becoming president in 2020. It's like she's not old enough. she's not 35 yet. She can't be president.
That's funny.
I just got a fake porn account on Facebook.
Oh, I get them all the time. You know what I did last time I got one? You know how I took a picture that's see my nudes here? I took that and I sent it to the next one that I got, and then it was like deleted. Like the page was deleted. Like see my nudes here. I'm like, hey, you should check this out. And I sent the last spam like I got.
All right.
Now I'm trying to think. I have 2 more spots are unscheduled.
Let's go with a tag team. Private Party. They show up, you get 2 points there.
You could.
Yeah, I don't see them.
It's a big gamble, though.
Like they might be in a backstage thing or something. I thought Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor.
You know
but they're
what?
scheduled.
I'm not going to do it. If you want to take it, you can have it. What's her name? Just won that Fatal 4-Way
Hikaru Shida.
Shida. She could be, I guess, maybe
Yeah,
after.
she might come out. Or you know how they come out to do commentary during match or watch or something.
Is Taz scheduled?
I don't know. He might be scheduled. Try and put him down. He might come up red. Like Jeff Cobb. I don't think Jeff Cobb should be scheduled.
I'm going to watch the pay-per-view after it happens. I'm going to try to
I'm
going to try to find a link because we're going to be at the...
It's hard to find a link, though, I like the next day.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think Taz is scheduled.
That one website I go to is pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if I watch it Sunday afternoon, I'll definitely will.
Yeah. All right, we're getting close to the end here. I don't think we're not going to have a topic. No topic tonight. So we'll see you guys at GSW if you're there. We do have pins. We got pins again. I got to save some pins because they got to last me next Outbreak and next
then
PPW.
just take one bag then.
Yeah.
That way you can't. You know you have some left.
Yeah. Interview. There's gonna be interview Monday. It's gonna be a little bit of a curveball. I'm going to move the theater that we did yesterday up to Monday because they have a show next Saturday, next Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the Clue show.
And if you're in Pottsville next weekend, check that show out.
Yeah.
I know you're probably going to be there one day.
Saturday.
I don't know if I'm going Saturday or Friday.
So Friday I have a Bangin' Beers.
No, is it Clue kind of like the movie Clue?
It is. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's it's a stage adaptation of the movie.
It's probably a little funny, a little humorous.
A lot of humor.
They said it's the funniest production they've done, and they've done some really funny ones.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're very high on this one. They think the cast is solid, and everyone's pretty pumped about it.
I know. I think I've seen some of them and other things they've done. I know the guy playing Colonel Mustard is an excellent actor. He's really good with comedy too.
Yeah.
They did Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot last year. He played King Arthur, and he was hilarious.
Redhead?
No,
the guy with the beard.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He dated this one girl that I knew that was somehow connected. And I don't think she's there anymore. Her name was Emily.
No, they're married.
Oh, are they married?
She was actually in Spam-A-Lot too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I know they were engaged.
I
know they were engaged. She is actually the head of the Schuylkill County Council for the Arts now. She runs Schuylkill Free Shakespeare.
Oh, cool.
And he's in all those productions
wow.
too.
Yeah. So I know her a little bit.
We broke the golden rule of theater.
What's that?
You're not supposed while you're on stage.
Yeah?
You're not allowed to say
Macbeth.
Macbeth.
Why?
No, I didn't say Macbeth then.
You said Macbeth.
I said Hamlet.
You said both.
Did I?
Yeah, and then I said Macbeth later.
Yeah, you're not. I guess it's like a really old school rule.
It's like one of those things where, like, it's supposed to be bad luck if you say Macbeth.
Because I said I seen Hamlet at Renaissance Fair.
I think you said Macbeth. We were running through like the Schuylkill Free Shakespeare things because I do like plays every year,
and they let me go. And
Can
then
at
the very end, they're like, "Yo, you broke the rule.
You just can't say Macbeth."
Yeah. So if the show
they were like tongue in cheek about it.
If the show flops, it's all of our fault.
Oh wow.
And we'll never be us back. No, they were super cool, and I want to give Brian and Jack a really big plug for showing up, help me set up the equipment, and help running everything, and then taking some pictures while I was interviewing. So
cool.
it helped me get a lot of that. Didn't get a group photo. Kind of
Majestic Theater.
Kind of fucked that one up. I forgot all about it. I'm so used to taking it in front of the banner.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Andy, anything else you got to plug?
That's not cool.
Friday night, right?
Yeah, Friday night is ACW at Reverb in Reading. So come check that out. Crazy Steve from TNA, former TNA World Tag Team Champion.
Do you got topping next week for this show?
For this show, no, I don't.
Do you want to?
I can. I don't know. I can do whatever.
All right, we'll do whatever. I'm not going to put you in a spot to pick something.
Yeah.
But you can do whatever you want because History Month's over. We didn't get one this month.
So that's we already talked about Grand Slam Wrestling on Saturday. So ACW. If you're not doing anything Friday and you're in Reading, come on.
And Not Cool in High School. Go check out Not Cool in High School.
Yeah, definitely.
Topic coming up in 2 weeks on Not Cool in High School. Everyone's pretty excited about Howard Stern. We're going to do a Howard Stern topic.
2 weeks,
I invented topics, Robin.
Yeah, and then next week is going to be I always forget the name of the author, but Steve's doing the creator of Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I like Calvin Hobbes.
It seems that I was talking to Ben, and the more niche things we pick, the better they do. Because there's not. It's like if we do a podcast of Spider-Man, well, there's already thousands.
Yeah,
but the Red Sonja one, I think, was the only one. Like
Red Sonja did very well.
Yeah.
This guy literally commented a book.
Yeah, he freaked out a little bit there.
He loved it.
Yeah,
but he gave you credit for your knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything. That's why I gotta say I don't know everything. Like I'm not. Come out and say I'm a fucking historian. I've read every single issue.
Did really well.
Yeah,
if you find those things that are really niche, but like people are super into them.
Yeah,
that
and
you gotta really
they can't find anything on on, and they're so like hungry for content.
So it's fun. I definitely like doing the topics. And then I have one in the chamber. I'm trying to waiting to get out is I love Lucio Ball. I want to do. I just got to get time to.
And I know you had some things you wanted me to kind of cover on here. Maybe we'll do those up in the future. I know you're talking about maybe Kurt Hennig.
Yeah,
for Tornado Tag, we do cover.
I just feel bad making you do a lot of topics because you do have another show that you do, and I don't want to overwhelm you.
I'll do them every now and then.
Yeah,
no, not every week. But.
Yeah, so we'll definitely start working on that a little bit and get some topics, even if they're not every show, but we definitely will keep them going. I think even the wrestling ones people enjoy. I get a lot of good feedback.
Good.
People who listen, especially guys from PBW, are like, hey man, that I didn't even know about, Bearcat,
There you go, Bearcat.
I almost said Bear Claw.
Bear Claw.
Yes.
Bear Claws are fantastic.
Yeah, they're delicious. But Brian, what do you got to plug?
Murder My Dude. It's on my hat here.
They are back.
We are back. The
they
new
are
show.
back.
There you go. The new show, JFK, My Dude, came out this week.
JFK. Just do the Mayor Quimby voice.
Yeah. My brother Bobby.
Yeah.
No, we didn't cover him yet. That might be a future
Ted
episode.
Kennedy.
He was also killed. He killed someone. So
Yeah.
would be. There's a lot of murder in that family. But yeah, we covered JFK. We covered we do a thing called This Week in Murder where we cover some more pressing, like present current event stories. This one, it was about a guy who is a flat earther who had a steam powered rocket ship and crashed and died. That happened recently. We had
That's wonderful.
We talked about another story where these DNA like the genetic testing.
That's what
things-
they want you to think is his plane crash. What happened was he launched and he hit the ceiling of the dome.
and then he went,
Yeah, that's what happened. He proved us all wrong.
oh man, they got us.
Yep.
Next week we're actually going to be doing something about this is a serial killer tandem I hadn't even heard of. But they both recently died. We're going to be going over the Toolbox Killers.
Oh.
Really bad people. Wow. Really bad people. But this week is JFK. I'm sure the link will be below and anywhere going this. Just look up Murder My Dude anywhere. We're on Anchor. ProjectHumanoid.com is the website. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are back. I like that. I like the show a lot. Yeah, that's all I really got. Check out the rest of the content. We do have a brand new unboxing video for Pro Wrestling Crate. Loot Fright just got uploaded, and then it's been really busy this month, so we don't have a Video Games on Monthly. But you can check out the box.
I'll be get one maybe. Well, usually they send out a couple days early, so maybe Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, so
see.
we're gonna miss a month for video games, but we'll try to get the next one up. But we have a lot of cool unboxings. But yeah, so just check out all that stuff. Go follow us over on Facebook at Tornado Tag Podcast. We are very close we're getting closer and closer to 1,000 likes.
Cool.
So if you guys can go over there and hit like, and if you really want to be cool, you can go over to the community tab and hit invite all your friends.
Oh wow,
and that'd be awesome as well. And over on Instagram, IWEP Network, we just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
So we're
That's
growing.
great, yeah.
We're definitely growing. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon. Wherever there's pro wrestling, you'll definitely find us, and we'll see you next time.